Rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing but not facing the facts that as a nation we all done got lax, and letting the devil control us, and thinking like them damn Africans that sold us. We in captivity because they hold us, working hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we was some soldiers, but every second that I look we getting creamed like Folgers. You see, the Lord done told us.
Okay, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get class started. Everybody, please send the link out, like, share, subscribe, get that link out, and then we can go ahead and go into these questions for today. We'll start out with questions like we always do. Hopefully we've been helping brothers and sisters out with a lot of these questions and trying to give them their fair, balanced outlook in the scriptures. If you don't know, we are at 8524 South Braeswood, and that's in Houston, Texas. That's 77071. All right. And we have classes in San Antonio, Texas, 4219 Center Gate, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. In Albuquerque, we have classes, and Trinidad's to be announced. If you want to get here for classes, we have classes Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday mornings. Okay, Saturday's been really going good. We've been doing the reading. We've been going into the Hebrew. So it is Sabbath morning classes are really, really needed for brothers and sisters that want to get a lot of the basics down, go through a lot of questions, and get some Hebrew. Okay, so come join us for that. Please check out our kids' classes from 11 to 12 on Sundays. And we are...
Did y'all miss that cable show class?
The training for the Houston Media Source?
I think we did.
Wow. Anyway, check what you're watching now, please. We're going to be... our cable show, local, should be running still. Okay, you can check that out on HoustonMediaSource.org, or you can go to Comcast Channel 17 local. All right, and that is on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. All right, my number is 281-707-2737. You can get a hold of me if you have any questions. You can email us at isbhpk.org. All right, that's isbhpk@isbhpk.org. Okay? Yeah. Are you still on private?
Yeah, let me change it back. I'm so sorry.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
Do I have to stop it? Or will it change automatically?
I have no idea. Just stop it. You're on private. You didn't start, right? Huh?
No.
I mean, it didn't go online, and then we'll do it like that. Just make sure if the
So to me, there's no surprise on why they fold us. It's not cause our skin is dark and they don't know us. It's cause we stuck on that crack and that doja. Allow our brains to be polluted, now they mold us. Don't hate on me, hate on them dirty fools that stole us. You'd rather be dunking with Jordan on some posters, other than smashing these devils like these.
I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding on what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves. Drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing, but not facing the facts that as a nation we all done got lax, and letting the devil control us, and thinking like them damn Africans that sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Working hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we was some soldiers, but every second that I look, we get.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're going to go ahead and get class started for this Shabbat evening. Okay, we ask y'all to get the link out, like, share, hit your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, and let's get the link out. And if you don't know by now, we are located here in Houston, Texas. That's 8524 South Braeswood, and we are also in San Antonio, Texas, at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. We're in Albuquerque. We're also going to be back in Trinidad. We're just waiting on some passports to come through. So we're doing a few things, trying to stay busy. Also, we have an individual brother that has won us back in Dallas. So we're going to be going to Dallas again. All right, so look out for those things that's going on, and if you guys want to get together, have class, we're going to be in those areas, okay? We have classes here in Houston, Texas. In Houston, Texas at 8524 South Braeswood, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturday mornings, okay? I'm trying to get everybody to get in this Sabbath morning class, because you get a lot of information in Sabbath morning class, and we're going over the Hebrew. So check those things out, man, we got going on. All right, we're going to do the raffle tonight. We're letting everybody know that the raffle is finished, so we're going to draw for the raffle tonight live on Facebook?
Yes.
What Facebook?
Israelware.
We're going to go on Israelware tonight, and we're going to draw the raffle tickets live, all right, to see who won the raffle. All right, we're going to do that. Check us out on blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. It is not for the faint heart. They do not play. All right. So if y'all want to go on there and get those classes, like Laka Rob says, it's a good breakfast in the morning to start out your day. You can check that out. All right. My number is 281-707-2737. If you want to go ahead and get a hold of us, you can text during class. You can go on YouTube, text your questions. All right. Also, we're at isbhpk@isbhpk.org. Okay, if you want to email there also. Let me see, Raph. We have Purim coming up, which is on the 16th, right? It's on the 16th of March, yeah. So, we're going to be getting together. What day is that? What day is Purim? The 16th, but what actual day? It's a Friday. So, for the Sabbath, we're going to be getting together. Most likely, we'll be getting together here at the school. So if you guys want to actually perform the laws, you can come join us here at ISBHBK 8524 South Braeswood. We're going to be getting together, doing what the scriptures say, holy convocation, getting together and eating. Now we have the big high holy day coming up, which is Passover, and that's on April 1st. Okay, and that's what we've been collecting money for. We've been raising money to get that going. It's going to be magnificent, man. We got a few things going on there. You brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss. It will be a blast, and we will be commemorating the Most High's Passover, our Passover. Okay. What else we got here? All right. So garments are on pause unless you're getting a Passover garment with the school, right? Otherwise, we're not doing any garments right now. Check out our kids' channel. We're going to be changing that up, doing a lot of different things with that channel also. The sister's been using the mic, right?
We just use the Yeti mic.
You're on that using the mic, right?
The Yeti mic.
So they can hear y'all? So that's been going on, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So that's it. If you want to give any alms or offerings, the information will be on the bottom of the screen. All right. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into these questions, and we'll get class rolling. So let's start out with questions. See who has any of that. Y'all got any questions in here? La? Huh? La?
La.
There you go. Alright. If y'all don't got no questions, we'll wait till they get online here and figure out who has questions online. Usually they have a lot. Everybody get the link out here. Y'all been studying? Faint cons. Very faint. Have y'all been studying? There you go. Now I can hear y'all.
Matter of fact.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I do have a question.
What's that, sir?
I wrote it down. Was bear with me.
I have a quick one.
Yeah.
Well, Revelations chapter 11, verse 10, the last precept of that. It says, because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. I understand who the two prophets is and all that, but like when it says that, is that talking about the Dark Ages?
You're in Revelations where?
Revelation chapter 11, verse 10.
They tormented them? I think so. I gotta double check that though, but I think so.
When they were
During the Dark Ages.
Yeah, that's what.
Right, yeah. Okay. Alright, so what you got, Art?
It is. I wanted to write it down.
Yeah, you can put that down over there, behind her. Yeah, put it over there. That way that stuff don't fall. Where is it at, Ariana?
Romans chapter 15 and verse 27.
Okay. Romans 15:27. Go ahead.
Con, give me a con when you got it. Con. Romans chapter 15 and verse 27. It hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. If the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, their duty is also to minister unto them in carnal things.
So where you at again?
Romans chapter 17 and verse 27.
Romans 17 and 27. Go ahead.
Come. It hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. For if the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, they are also their duty is also.
And you said Romans what?
15.
Oh, you said 17. Okay, I'm tripping. 15:27.
Come. I'll start from the top. Romans chapter 15 and verse 27. It hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. For if the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, their duty is also to minister unto them in carnal things.
Go ahead.
That was my question.
Okay. Start at 23.
23. But now having no more place in these parts, and having a great desire, these are many years to come unto you. Whensoever I take my journey into Spain, I will come unto you. For I trust to see you in my journey, and to be brought on my way thitherward by you, if first I be somewhat filled with your company. But now I go unto Jerusalem to minister unto the saints. For it hath pleased them of Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution for the poor saints, which are at Jerusalem.
Right. So we got to get up this contribution, whatever they was giving. Remember in Acts 2, they was giving all the things that was needed to the sanctuary. So he's like, okay, I gotta get this contribution for the poor saints which are at Jerusalem. Go ahead.
Verse 27. It hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are.
Right.
For if the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things, their duty is also to minister unto them in carnal things.
You know, the thing is this. Now we know with the Gentiles, it's our people scattered through the four corners of the earth, right? But at the same time, this really goes for both Gentiles. Because if you got these nations, right, looking at us online and claiming, because that's what we got a lot of too. You got a lot of these Gentiles online claiming that they know the truth. Well, then why aren't you helping? How are you supporting? So yeah, we know this is talking to the Israelites scattered, calling themselves of these different names. But amongst them, just like now, as we teach, there's still other nations, right, that claim, oh, you know what, I'm a believer, y'all are telling the truth. Okay, then what are you doing? You can't just praise with your mouth. How are you benefiting the truth then? I mean, what have you gotten, you know, from the work and the words and the wisdom that you've been given? How have you shown forth to the Most High that you're grateful? So he's telling them, okay, we gave you the spiritual things, which is the word, right?
Right.
Their duty is also to minister unto them in the carnal things. So that's their duty. Right? Yeah.
Say 1 Corinthians 9:11.
Yeah. But you understand that?
God.
Right. So that goes for Israel, But it also goes for these other nations too that have that claim, and like I said, they claim they believe. They claim they believe. Well, if you believe, then where are your actions? Where are your works? You know what I mean? If you claim yourself to be a godly man, all right? Yeah.
So okay, so I mean, because what he had just quoted, I did have down too. So that's when that would apply.
Let's go there for the sake of everybody knows not knowing what you're talking about. So let's go to 1 Corinthians 9.
God.
And I'm gonna repeat it again in this chapter when you read from verse 1. You know, we're talking. Paul is talking to these Israelites scattered amongst the nations, right?
God.
So, but in the same time, there's nations there hearing this word, right? Just like us. Our prayer and desire is for Israel that they might be saved, but everybody's getting this word, right?
God.
Okay, so Israel's waking up, but you got nations that are claiming to believe in the truth. Okay? Well then, what is your duty in believing in the truth? Right?
Your duty would be to put out the works.
Your duty would be to be helping the truth.
God.
Their job is to help the truth, to give, to benefit the bodies, right?
God.
In whatever way. That's what this 1 Corinthians, what is it?
1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 11.
9:11. It's murder. Go ahead.
God. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Right. So once again, like I said, that he was talking to Israel, but if they're claiming to be believing, well then you got to give to them. Right? Now, bringing it to the body, bringing it to Israel again. Read it again.
God. If we have sown unto you spiritual things,
Go ahead.
is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Right. So, is it a big thing that, we ask for, help with this bill or help with the school or help with all these things? Like, you got a lot of brothers, they don't do nothing. You got a lot of sisters that won't do nothing. They just listen and take in the wisdom. Well, you got to do something. People don't understand. It don't work that way. You're not just going to make it into the kingdom by hearing.
Right.
The scriptures say you got to be doers of the word.
God.
So, how are you helping? The scriptures say if you give a prophet a cup of water. So, we know a lot of Israel's hurting, but are you making a damn effort? Some Israelites don't even want to make an effort. You don't want to do nothing. You think, I'm just going to hear. But when you're asked, hey, send in some notepads, they get funny about that. Then they go asking again. Everybody asks. This world is about giving and taking. You know what I mean? You giving the knowledge, right?
God.
And you're supposed to be giving something back. It says, buy the truth, sell it not. So, how many of people are looking at it that way? And that what Paul was reminding them. What's up, Bob? Yeah, Mike, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah, like referring to the topic, the same way like when Nebuchadnezzar couldn't understand his dream.
Right.
And Daniel and them, they gave him the spiritual wisdom to discern the dream.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then he rendered unto them, like you saying, the carnal things. He gave them the metals, the gold,
There you go.
riches, and wealth, and put them up in the private.
Very good point. Very good. And you see that a lot.
With Joseph too.
Joseph, Esther,
Abraham with Abimelech.
Abimelech. Yeah, you see that the nations was giving stuff. You know what I mean? But once again, bringing it back to Israel, because that's what he's pointing out here. He's talking to Israel, because Israel is lazy as hell. They don't want to do nothing. You'll give to dang Joel Osteen and be raped and robbed, but then you're second quest giving a % of that to Israelites. It's like, well, I was already used and abused. Okay, but we're not asking for $1 million. We're asking for, send us some Bibles. Get a computer for the school. You know what I mean? You know, if you don't want to send money, do something is what we say. Could you make copies for us? Right. We'll take copies. You know what I mean? Do something. That's what Paul's point is. Right? Because we understand, too, they give according to their faith. A lot of people don't believe. You see? But as they come in and they can trust more, then they can, oh, okay, this is not it's a scam. Right? That's how people are. You know, especially when it comes to black people. When it comes to their own people, remember, you already been inbred in you not to partake, not to give, not to put in, to have an evil eye, right? And for y'all that just tuned in, we're answering the brother's question in 1 Corinthians 9 and 11. So, this is what Paul's saying to them. Go ahead.
Verse 12. I'll read verse 11 again. If we have sown unto you spiritual things.
Right, so we sow unto you spiritual things. We sit there and we counsel. You get wisdom, right? You get time out. We sacrifice time of our family, and which is our duty. But he's reminding us, he's reminding other people, like, okay, you're receiving all these things, but what are you giving back? How have you showed the Most High? Dang, ungrateful. You know, cause that's why a lot of people rather stay online, because I don't have to give to nobody. I'm freely receiving the knowledge. I don't have to get off my butt. I can be wise and smart, and then if I really want it, I could just sit and learn from online and then go act like I believe. It don't work like that. We're gonna touch on that a little bit. Go ahead.
Come. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Yeah, he's talking about your physical things. Go ahead.
Verse 12. If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather?
See it again?
If others be partakers of this power over you, are we not rather?
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, we have not used this power.
Right. So a lot of times we don't use the power. Like when we went to Trinidad, we were trying to not have them have to fork out everything. You know what I mean? When we try to get the building out there, we put up the money. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you're not going to be able to use an excuse. Oh, they came out and just took. No, we came out and sacrificed. We came out and gave up. Yeah, you got the first ticket, but we got the other tickets. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the first plate of food, but guess what? We got the other plates of food. You know why? Because that's how Israel is. I'm not saying they were like that. You know what I mean? Those brothers were definitely hospitable. But what I'm saying is you get people like that. So Paul knew that. You know what I mean? Even with us, you know, we try not to ask too much because we know how Israel is. Oh, there they go asking. Like, nigga, hell yeah, we gonna ask. The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. Yeah, we need. Right? But the difference between us is that we don't have a jet, we don't have a mansion, and you living in the ghettos and the slums. That's the difference. So you got to put things in perspective about being used and abused by what we were used and abused by the churches and giving. And let me tell you like this. The Most High always sees what you're doing regardless. That's why, who was in church in here? Raise your hand. Everybody, right? And now you got the truth, right? So that means even though you was in church giving, the Most High that didn't go to nothing. You gave according to your spirit, and the Most High blessed you in your spirit. You see that? Even in church, when you was praying to Jesus, when you was praying to Jesus, when you thought God so loved the world, guess what? The Most High knew in your spirit you wanted the truth, you desired it. And he what? Pulled you out of it, gave you the knowledge. So even if you're with that, well, I don't know, it doesn't matter. You still give because the Most High is going to go to your spirit. You see what I'm saying? So, because we all been used and abused. But this is what Paul understood. He understood that how Israel was. So he was real touchy on how and what zone he moved into like that. He knew he had the power. We know we had the power to do that, but a lot of times, man, it's better to give than receive. You see that? So we understand that, like us going to different cities and states and everything, but it gets to a point where people take that for granted. You know what I mean? They're not open with hospitality. They're not open, willing to help. So you gotta meet halfway. You know, because when Bill Clinton comes into town, what do?
Get some rooms.
They get his rooms. They get his food. They get his cars. Yeah, they get the red carpet. And I'm not saying that's what we need. What I'm saying is that, what the hell are you doing? Paul understood this about his people. We have to understand what Paul is saying. That's why we got to be careful. Go ahead.
Come. If others be partakers of this power over you, are not we rather? Nevertheless, we have not used this power, but suffered all things.
You what?
Suffered all things.
Right. You see that?
Come.
We have not used this power. We have suffered all things. So Paul's saying that we do have the power, but at the same time, you got to suffer a lot of things because how people look at you. Now, you see how Romans 15, he was saying we got to go get it. And here he was saying what? You got to suffer. You know why? Because it's a balance. Certain times, you got to require certain from individuals. And then, but that's from individuals that want to give. But at another time, you got a person that's skeptic, unfaithful. You might not go in there with that same spirit. You see that? So this is what Paul was teaching us. He always taught us how to really apply the wisdom of the Most High and not to be overbearing in areas. Go ahead.
Least we should hinder the gospel of Yahushua.
Right. You see. So you see what he's saying?
Because if you're unbalanced in whether taking or receiving,
right,
then that'll throw the balance off, and then that'll throw them off. That'll throw them off or hinder their opportunity to come into the truth.
Okay, but what are you saying?
Being balanced in being which part? Which part?
In the part you just said.
In the part that I'm explaining is you got to be balanced in, like, whether, because we're talking about.
We know what we're talking about. What are you talking about?
The same thing.
Don't panic.
No.
Don't lose it.
The same thing.
Stay on point.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
But
come on.
No, we got it, because if you're unbalanced in taking carnal things.
Yeah.
Or not, or just suffering it, right?
Hold on. If you're unbalanced, you're going to obscure the work.
Right.
So people are so carnal that when you ask, that their brain is obscured by all the good you're doing. Like, think about it. We can do good 1,000 times, but you deal with a carnal-minded person, it doesn't matter. The one time you obscure or do something wrong in their eyes, the 1,000 times will go right out the window. So he's showing you that, yeah, you have this power, but how does it look to this individual? You see what I'm saying? How does it look to this individual? That's why the scriptures say all men have not the same faith. So this one person, and I'll use a perfect example. Jeremiah, you don't got to ask him for nothing. You know what I mean? Other brothers too. You don't got to ask him for nothing. You know what I mean? He's like, bro, that's what the commandments say. You know, that's where his technicalities is good though, because he's like, no, this is a requirement. He knows that. But this other brother, you might be like, like we said, we need help with the lights. And, dude, nigga, I don't know you like that yet. Right?
Right.
Like, you been coming here how long? You got to know us to help? But that's how people are. Paul knew this. And he knew, yeah, 1 minute we probably can go to everybody and say, Yar, yeah, could you help us with this right here because we need help this month? He might be like, yeah, come, I'll do this. Boom, done. He ain't going to hold it as a grudge. He ain't going to, you know, be like, you know what, oh, y'all asked me. But another brother might, another sister might. So Paul was real. See, that's why you got to love Paul. Because he dealt with the reality of the churches. You see that? He dealt in so many different churches. You had all these churches scattered throughout. One church was dealing right over here. The other church was acting like fools over here. And he had to go in and deal with them accordingly. Right? That's why he said he robbed other churches. Because what he would do is take the benefits of one church and go to the other church and help them out. Because they were lacking. So Paul was cold, man. You know, if you really read the stories, you know, because we jump around precepts a lot. But if you read the story, you start seeing how good and how his thought process in dealing with these different schools. It was on point. Because the dynamic of it was rough. So that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing how actually to apply the wisdom. Go ahead, read on.
Come, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things
Go ahead.
live of the things of the temple?
Go ahead.
And they which wait at the altar
Right.
are partakers with the altar.
Right. So he's saying the work, obviously the work we do is, we don't have a regular 9 to 5, but we do. Because trust me, this school would not be here if it wasn't for East and Oils. If it wasn't for our business. Because think about it, if we ask people to vow to pay the rent, how many people will give to pay the rent? So we ain't stupid. We ain't stupid. You see what I'm saying? The school wouldn't be here if it wasn't on the back of you, the brothers over there at the zone. It wouldn't be here. So this school is here because unselfish brothers. And then not only do you work, but you're also here learning how to teach, learning how to counsel, learning how to give up, right? So you got to see that we live of the temple. So when, you know, back then when they were asking for things, now when we ask for things, it's for the school. It's for this to keep this body running right. So that's what he's saying. It's just like the ancient days. When you look at the Levitical precept, they lived of the temple. You brought the offerings, you brought the lamb, you brought all these things. And those things, a lot of it, the priest ate. Right, because they didn't have, their job was the priesthood.
Right, they didn't have their land, they didn't have animals, and they didn't have all that.
They didn't have all that.
It was what you brought to it.
It's like I was talking to him today. We were talking about giving. We were talking about how brothers give themselves to the work. Yes, he can do the work on the weekends, but when it's time for him to fly to another city or country or state, or to, hey, you know what, we need you over here, he can't do that. He wouldn't be able to do that because he's not free. He's bound according to the white man's job. No, I got to work. I got to be here. I got to do this. So what we have to do is we make it to where we start our own little businesses to try to be able to maneuver the way we want to maneuver within the priesthood. It takes sacrifice, though. You know what I mean? So, yeah, now you are seeing in the Bible the workings of how we do things, that it wasn't just made up. You can see how these schools were doing the same things, man. They were building schools the same way. They were building churches the same way. But, you know, Paul's reminding us about skeptic people, about people that don't give as much as you give. And you can't look at it negatively. We don't look at it negatively. We just understand what we're dealing with. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Even so, hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel
Uh-huh.
should live of the gospel.
Go ahead.
But I have used none of these things.
Right. So once again, he's showing you what? The opportunity when I'm dealing with y'all in Corinth, I might not be using it here. But he did use it. He's telling the Corinthians that I didn't use it here. You understand? Because you read over there in Romans, he said what?
He had to take.
He had to take. He's like, y'all got to come up. Because they might have had more in Rome than the brothers in Corinth. Right?
John.
Go ahead.
Neither have I written these things.
Right?
It should be so done unto me.
Right. So you see how the stance he's taking? He said, I'm not just saying this that way you can give. Because that's whack too. That's lame too, right?
Like by force.
Yeah, like now you're forcing, now he's like, oh, I'm going to do it. Like, the Most High don't want that. Go ahead.
Come. For it were better for me to die.
Right.
Than that any man should make my glorying void.
So now you see how it's like, and I'm going to bring it down to a lower level. Like when people, you know people in the business zone, in the mall, and you constantly take from them. I don't care if it's a coffee hookup. I don't care if it's a clothes hookup, pretzel hookup. If you constantly take, they're going to look at your character. And a lot of people, you got to give back. You see what I'm saying? So same thing with the body. He knew that I'm not going to let you take all my works because you gave one time, right? You know, we had a situation like that where the sister was like, she gave some money way back. She was like, well, I gave to y'all. It's like, okay, sis, you gave one time. But don't worry about it. We're here for you. We're gonna give 1,000 times more, so you can't take away our glory because you gave. Then that's how it has to be. It's out here. Your name can be crapped on just by one individual that's lying or BS or really not sincere. So you got to be careful. Paul knew this, so he was like, I'm not gonna let you take away all the works I've done because you were unfaithful in what you wanted to give. I'm not going to let that happen. Go ahead.
For though I preach the though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of.
Go ahead.
For necessity is laid upon me.
Right.
Yea, woe is unto me.
Right.
If I preach not the gospel.
Right. So he knew that, listen, regardless the necessity of what I have to do, the necessity of needing is not going to be made void. I got to still follow my path. I have to still do my purpose. So, you know, like we talk about it, the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few, right?
Right.
That's not going to stop me from, we just finished talking about this. I was telling them, I was like, how you think? Because I didn't worry about what another man was doing or what person wasn't doing. I still did with the brothers that were doing. And all the complainers and part-time lovers and weekend warriors, they will grow into that. So this is what he's saying about, he's showing us a few things. You can't let your mind be obscured. You got to know how you deal with different bodies. You got to know how you deal with different individuals. Y'all get that? So where's that one I asked for?
That was it's actually up. 1 Corinthians 9:9.
1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 9. For it is written in the law of Moses.
We just read that. No, we didn't read that? No, I was actually looking for the one in Isaiah. Go ahead, though.
For it is written in the law of Moses, thou shalt not muzzle the mouth of the ox,
right,
that treadeth out the corn. Doeth God take care of the oxen?
Right.
For the oxen? Or saith, he is altogether for our sakes?
Go ahead.
For our sakes, no doubt.
Right.
This is written.
Right. So what is he saying? That regardless, you know, just like the oxen, those oxen that do that work, they get fed, they get taken care of. Well, the Most High takes care of them. He's not gonna not let us be taken care of. That's twofold. You know why? You know what it's saying? Even though Some people might give, some people won't. Some people put in, some people don't. But the Most High is going to make that happen. Don't panic. Don't lose your mind. You see that? Yeah, sis.
Could you go back to 15 and
9 and verse 15.
and just if you could
Reiterate.
Yeah, the last precept about the making my glory void, and then into 16.
All right, go read 15 again.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But I have used none of these things.
Right, so I have used none of these things because he knew that in Corinth, because his first question went from Romans. Over, you were listening? So he knew that here, I can't use this opportunity on y'all. Yeah, it's supposed to happen this way, right? You don't supposed to muzzle the ox, but I'm not using this with y'all. Go ahead.
Done. Neither have I written these things.
Uh-huh.
That it should be done, so that it should be so done unto me.
Yeah, I'm not doing this to put a guilt trip on you. I'm not doing it for that reason. Go ahead.
For it were better for me to die than that any man should make my glorying void.
So, if the opportunity, right, of you giving was going to bring on the result to make my glorying, my works, my duties in the Most High void, I'm not going to do that. I would rather go suffer and not have and be without, right, than let you destroy the glorying of the righteousness in the suffering.
Because the giving is that righteousness. That's the glorying that the person that's giving is doing. Right?
The glorying is Paul. He's glorying in being able to abase and abound. He's glorying in able to go in these different places and not have, but knowing the Most High will provide some way. That was the glorying. How would that glorying be took away? Because you came and you set things up and you gave, but then you turned that into something negative. Now you're going to take away all my glory. Now it's like, damn, I didn't go over there and do good. You're trying to tell me now I went over there and did bad now? Because you gave? So you took away all that glory. You took away all that work. Because it's better. It's beautiful when you go into a zone and you put in works and you're pounding the ground, you're passing out fire, you're teaching, you're counseling, right? But then if one person said something negative, it's like, now all my good works are evil spoken of, right? So that's where my glorying will be, you know what I mean, in the Most High. I'm not gonna don't give. I'm gonna go ahead and go do it myself, right? Which a long time, like think about it, for a long time we've done things on our own without asking. You see? So why? Because the skeptics, Israel, we know how they are, right? Go ahead.
Verse 16.
For
though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glorify of. For necessity is laid upon me.
Right.
Yea.
Right. So showing you his duty. Right. There's none to glory about. This is my duty. This is the commandment of the Most High. Right. Go ahead.
Yea. Woe is unto me.
Right. What destruction? He's saying, look, it's the commandment of the Most High. This is the will of the Most High. And if I don't, destruction's unto me. Go ahead.
If I preach not the gospel.
There you go. He's saying, if I don't do this, it ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with man. If I don't do this, destruction unto me. So he knew what his job was. Right? Whether you gave or not. Whether you're giving or not. This is a commandment of the Most High. Yeah.
No, you just worded it the way I just worded it in my head.
Yeah.
You basically sent to do a job, so whether you help or you don't help, the Most High, he told me to do a job and I got to do it.
And on every level, tier of where you at, you come in the truth. The biggest problem with brothers and sisters is they're always using somebody else as an excuse why not to. So that's the one thing that holds us back from giving, and not just physically, but spiritually. Why? Because they don't come in looking towards the Most High. They come in looking towards their own carnal, or this person, or you're sitting there, or that person's there, now I'm going to do it. Instead of saying, nah, I'm doing this for the Most High, every man shall seek out his own soul salvation. Whatsoever you do, do it wholeheartedly unto the Lord, knowing who you're going to receive your reward from, right? Colossians 3:23, right? What's up? Say something?
Well, no, that brings a valid point, because you gotta say within yourself, that person or that individual doesn't make the truth.
Right.
The truth, it's like what we tell people when we tell them to read the scriptures. It's not gonna alter what you, if I read it to you now or you read it yourself or then you go in the closet, the words aren't gonna change.
Good, very good. Spiritually putting it up. So it's also like you got a job at McDonald's and your coworker got a job at McDonald's. When your coworker don't come in, you just like, I'm not coming in either. Who does that for work? When your coworker gets sick, you just spaz out. Well, they do it in the truth all the time. Oh, this brother, oh, really, Ak? Well, then I'm not doing it either. Like, that's crazy. You see the example shows you how crappy, shady, how shady Israel is.
Right.
Because they do that in the truth, but for the work, they'll be like, I ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here to get this check. Exactly. Right. See, but with Israel, they come in these schools, they're like, they team up, they try to get cliques and crews and, you know, coming from that world mind instead of understanding, yeah, this is my brother, but we're walking together in the spirit. Once one of us leave the spirit, you got to keep going in the spirit. You know what I mean? So I was telling him this morning, it's crazy, this point is coming out, is that there's a lot of generals, like they had us, I remember in Brooklyn, it was like 40 brothers out. This is just one camp in Brooklyn. It was called Mount Zion. And they had us line up. And at the end of the night, the generals would just talk to us. And I remember certain generals saying, listen, if I ever leave the truth, don't follow me. You keep doing this. Those men are gone. Some of those men are gone. But that's what I remember as a young man, 17, 18, like, you said this. Why y'all getting all bent out of shape when it happened? You know what I mean? It happened. They said it. They prophesied it would happen or didn't, right? But you still followed the path the Most High wanted you on. It didn't have nothing to do with who was giving you and who wasn't. I mean, that answer your question, huh?
Thorough. No, because, yeah, it did. I said no, but no, it really did.
All right. So, do we got any other questions online?
I got one.
Online?
We'll send them.
Okay, what we got?
The brother asked, if since it's marriage, then how do people fornicate?
Right. So let's go to let's go there first. To avoid fornication. Let's go there. Go to that one first. Let's go there, and then read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 2. Nevertheless,
1 Corinthians, hold on 1 second. Hold it. 1 Corinthians 7 and 2. Just wait for everybody to get there. Y'all got it? Okay, go ahead.
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife.
Have his what?
Own wife.
Right, because we're going to see that fornication is dealing with another man's wife. Right? When you look up this word fornication again, okay? I want y'all to look that up. Get that dictionary. Look up fornication. Alright, so read that again. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 2.
Nevertheless,
to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. And let every woman have her own husband.
Why? Because a woman was supposed to, according to the law, have her husband. Right? And according to the law, a man was supposed to not sleep with anybody else that's not single, right? Another man's wife, right? He can't deal with a woman that has another man, right? That's the law, right? Go ahead.
Let the husband render unto the wife.
Okay, so we know that. So to avoid fornication, you're supposed to have your own wife, your own husband. Okay. So what was this question again? Lakarab.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It says,
if sex is marriage, then how do people fornicate?
Right. So you're going to go outside and continue to go outside of your marriage. You understand? So you're sleeping with another man's wife, or she's sleeping with another man. It all goes back to the law. So, but yeah, just to show you, look at what Paul was bringing out. Go to 1 Corinthians 5, verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1.
And I went to the New Testament first to get this out of the way, because this is the first things that come in people's mind. Well, fornication, have your own wife. Well, we're going to find out what it means, have your own wife. We can only know according to what? The law. Right? Right. We got to go back to the law. Go ahead.
It is reported commonly that there is fornication among you.
Wait a minute. There's what amongst them?
Fornication among you.
Go ahead.
And such fornication as it not so much as named among the Gentiles.
Go ahead.
That one should have his father's wife.
His father's what?
His father's wife.
Two things we're learning here. If one have his father's wife, what are we finding about his father? He didn't say his mother.
Right. He got more than one wife.
He got what?
He has more than one wife.
He had more than one woman.
Right.
He had more than one wife. He didn't say there's commonly amongst you a man sleeping with his mother.
Okay.
It said he's sleeping with his father's wife. Okay. So what happened is he's sleeping with basically his stepmom.
Right.
You see that?
Yeah.
So that was the fornication. You're going to deal with another man's wife. And sleeping with your father's wife, you a dirty nigga. You dirty as hell. Right? That's why the Most High took from Reuben. That's why the Most High took from Reuben the birthright and gave it to Judah, because it said Reuben went up to his father's couch and basically he lay with his father's wife. Not his mama, but another woman that his father was with. So now we're understanding this fornication and what it is. Now, y'all see that, right? Okay. Read where you at in your, what do you got, fornication?
This isn't a good,
What you got? Come on, we got to get a good definition. Wow.
Yeah, I just got adultery and incense. And then it also speaks of forsaking of the true power, forsaking of the true God and worshiping idols.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. What else y'all got? What you know what? Read it again, and I'll go there. I thought it was gonna be a little more in depth. Go ahead.
It says adultery or incest, forsaking idolatry, forsaking the true God.
Right. So this is where you have fornication also. Okay, we're gonna get there though. I don't want to jump to that level, because we're gonna understand in depth how much what this word fornication means. So you can go, you dealt with other gods. That's fornication. Well, now that's spiritual fornication. But now you got physical fornication. Well, you sleep outside of your marriage as a woman. You're sleeping with another man, and a man sleeps with another man's wife. Y'all get that? So let's go to Leviticus. Let's go there. Y'all got that?
Oh, I got a good one. Is that?
Yeah. Oh, good definition. Go ahead.
Yeah, this one's. It says fornication. It says voluntary sex intercourse, generally forbidden by law, between an unmarried woman and a man, and an unmarried man. Adultery.
See, the adultery is fornication.
Huh?
So when you sleep outside of your marriage, it's fornication. That's why go to Leviticus 20 and 10.
Huh?
Leviticus 20 verse 10.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the man that committed adultery.
Now I want y'all to listen to this. Listen slow. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife.
With what?
Another man's wife.
With what?
Another man's wife.
That's fornication. Right?
God.
So this word to fornicate, you're going outside of your marriage. Not that you're getting another wife, because now you're married to that woman. Right?
God.
Go ahead.
Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife.
I mean, is that unclear? For a man, if he sleeps with another man's wife, that's adultery. Y'all get that?
God.
Now, for a woman is what?
Adulteress.
Go ahead.
The adulterer and the adulteress
Uh-huh.
shall surely be put to death.
Right. So she's going to be put to death. Why? Because she slept with somebody outside of her husband. Right? So let's go to the other one. What is it? No. Go. We're still talking about adultery, right? Huh? Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got the definition of fornication.
What you got on fornication?
This is in the E-sword.
And we've been over this before, but it's a basic one. That's why it's quick too. Go ahead.
It says, this is the E-sword, and it says, to act the harlot, that is literally indulge on lawful lust, sex, or practice idolatry.
Read it again.
It says to act the harlot, that is literally indulge on lawful lust of either sex, or figuratively practice adultery.
Okay, so adultery, right?
Go ahead.
Go to Deuteronomy 22. 22. I don't know where I put my...
God.
Deuteronomy 22, 22.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband.
You see that? Go ahead.
Then they shall both of them die.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
So y'all got this, right?
Go ahead.
So this is what that fornication is. Let me see here. Go to I was looking for the other. This is another one. So now we're understanding what it is to commit fornication, right? So you got spiritual fornication. Let's get that. Go to the Apocrypha. What did you have?
No.
Find me that one real quick. While I look for this other one. Trying to get a few scriptures. You ever found that one for me?
Wisdom of Solomon 14-12?
Yeah, go there. God.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So you see, now what is this spiritual fornication? We're going to find out how similar it is as the physical. What is the spiritual fornication? What is it? When you what? Say it.
Definition.
No, what you got?
Spiritual fornication is when you put something before the Most High. When you start worshiping other deities.
Right, when you start worshiping and bowing to other gods.
That's right.
It's no different than what? Committing adultery. It's the same concept. You being a... Go to Jeremiah 3. Go to Jeremiah 3. That was Wisdom of Solomon what?
14 and 12.
Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. So now we got the spiritual fornication. What you're seeing that it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The thing is that you did it to the Most High. Right? Because we know that we're not physically married to the Most High, but spiritually we're married to the Most High. So read that, Jeremiah 3.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 1.
Yeah, I can't find my name. Go ahead, read that.
They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him,
go ahead,
and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Go ahead.
Shall not the land be greatly polluted?
Right. So when you, as the nation of Israel, went and dealt with the other nations, you were greatly polluted. When a woman go deal outside of her marriage, that land, that body, that woman, her spirit is greatly polluted. Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
Go ahead.
Yet return again to me.
Right, because the Most High is merciful. Go ahead.
Saith the Most High. Lift up thy eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lying with.
Go, read it again.
Lift up thine eyes unto the high places, and see where thou hast not been lying with. Right.
So he said, look around and see who you've not laid with. Why? Because you're a spiritual whore. This is fornication. That's what he said. The dividing the idols is the spiritual fornication. So now it's showing you it's the same thing. What is a fornicator? I'm going to go around and sleep around outside of who I'm supposed to be with. Kind of like what we're going into tonight's class about. Same thing. What you going to say, Jeremiah?
Same reason that the Most High got us wearing fringes in the first place.
Right.
To keep us from going a whoring after the other nation like we used to.
Right. We're supposed to remember the laws that we're bound to the Most High. Sort of like that ring, you know, they wear today, you know, oh, you're bound to that husband, right? So, but we're seeing that the spiritual fornication and physical fornication is the same thing. You're going to go sleep. It's sexual deviance outside of your marriage. Outside of your husband and your or man sleeping with another man's wife. Go ahead.
In the ways hast thou set for them, as the Arabian in the wilderness.
Read.
And thou hast polluted the land with thy whoredoms.
Right.
And with thy wickedness.
Right.
Therefore, the showers have been withholden. And there has been no latter rain.
Go ahead.
And thou hast a whore's forehead.
They have a what?
A whore's forehead.
So Israel is a spiritual whore. Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery,
right,
I had put her away,
right,
and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also.
Right, but went and played the harlot also. So y'all see this, right? Okay. Go from there. Go to.
We're still on the.
Ecclesiasticus 23 verse 16. Ecclesiasticus 23 verse 16. You got it? Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 verse 16. Two sorts of men multiply sin.
So I'm showing you how both ways, spiritual fornication and physical fornication, is the same thing. It's the same thing. The thing is that we do it to the Most High, and we whore out ourselves to other nations. Just like as the man would make a woman be a whore and commit adultery, or the woman would be a whore and sleeping with other men. Right? See, here's the kicker though. Your woman, as Israel, can be a harlot before she even sleeps with that person. Just like a man, he can be an adulterer before he even sleeps with that woman. Have it in the spirit. And that's what Christ was showing us. So all of this is linked together. It's saying the same thing. If you're going outside of your mind and spirit and want to be with somebody else, you're already committing fornication. So you got to nip it in the bud in your mind. Now don't go thinking, you know, because Israel, wicked niggas would be like, well, I guess I already committed fornication because I'm thinking about it. Let me go ahead and do it now. Wow. Wow. Hey, listen. Hey, you got Israel that would do that. Well, I guess I'm wicked. Priest Kazaki said, I didn't say nothing. The Bible is saying that you're a fornicator, you're an adulterer, you're committing this fornication when you spiritually think this way. Right? So, you on the line, you talking to Sancho, man. Like, yeah, what's up with you and this and that, and yeah. You're already committing adultery. Or a man, he's talking to another man's woman, you're committing adultery. So that's why you got to watch what you entertain. Ecclesiasticus, where we at?
23 verse 16.
Go ahead.
Two sorts of men multiply sin, and the third will bring wrath.
Go ahead.
A hot mind is as a burning fire.
Right.
It will never be quenched till it be consumed.
A
fornicator in the body of his flesh will never cease till he hath kindled a fire.
Right. You see that? Because what is he doing? He's destroying. He's a fornicator in the flesh. So now you see you got a fornicator in the spirit and you got a fornicator in the flesh. Spiritual fornication and physical fornication. How do we know the spiritual, the physical fornication? He said, a man sleeping with his father's wife. You're damn. That's fornication. Y'all get that? What's up, y'all?
I was gonna say it's the same thing that it was described in Ecclesiastes 26 when they're talking about the man being the whoremonger. Till he died.
Well, actually, we're reading down. That's here.
Okay.
That's 23.
Oh, 23.
Yeah. We're right here. That's exactly what we're gonna go over. Go ahead.
Verse 23.
Go ahead.
For first, she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High. And secondly, she hath trespassed against her own husband.
Wait, what's the fornication? What is it? Right? A fornicator in the flesh is what?
An adulterer.
An adulterer, that's it. See, they're using this word fornication as though just deviant sex. Like, oh, that's a fornicator. Of course. Because when you lay with that person was supposed to be your woman. When you lay with that person's supposed to be your man. So how are you committing fornication? By just laying with people and not taking on the law, which is when you laid with that woman, when you laid with that man, they were supposed to be yours. Now you're committing fornication. Why? Because you're just going and having sex with everybody. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And thirdly, she hath played the whore in adultery.
Right. So it's telling us, it's not more clear than you can get here, man. A fornicator in the body. The fornicator in the body. Go ahead.
And brought children by another man.
Right. Now how deep do you want to go into this? You go bring in heir to other men? That's it. Most High is going to destroy you. Go ahead.
She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children.
Go ahead.
Her children shall not take root.
Right.
Her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
Go ahead.
She shall leave her memory to be cursed, and her reproach shall not be blotted out. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of the Most High.
Right. Right. Go ahead.
And that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Most High.
Right. So y'all get this, right? Okay. That's what a fornicator in the flesh. I just want to jump back a little bit. Fornicator, spiritual fornication. Go to 2 Chronicles 21 and 11. Just showing you, when you go into this word fornication, it's just you going outside of what you're supposed to be subservient and committed to. Right? What you vowed to. You vowed to the Most High, you could be a fornicator. You vowed to that, for that man, for that woman, and then you're just going around, right? You're going to make her be in adultery, right? When you go sleep with a woman, you meet her in the club, you have sex with her, where's the fornication? You're not taking her on as your woman. And first of all, if you meet her in the club, obviously you know you're not going to take her on as your woman. Right? It's not necessarily like that. Go ahead.
2 Chronicles, chapter 21 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
Moreover, he made high places
in
the mountains of Judah.
Go ahead.
And caused the inhabitants of Jerusalem to commit fornication.
Right. You see that? Go ahead.
And compelled Judah thereto.
Right. So what were they doing? They were sleeping with the gods of the other nations. They was loving them more than the Most High. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
So would that be like we was committing spiritual fornication against the Most High, like when we was doing the Sunday worship?
Oh yeah, all that. Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Right. But when they talk about it in Jeremiah, how they set up high places for themselves at the heads of every street.
Yeah.
That's why they got the churches at the heads of every street. So
oh yeah, all the churches. But once again, we didn't know we was married to the Most High, so you repented, right? That's why Jeremiah 3 goes down into that. Like, I gave you a chance. You slept with all these other nations. Usually a man will cut you off, but I didn't. I gave you a chance, right? And then he goes down to show, even in my chance I gave you, you Negroes was just hard-headed, right? So that's what Jeremiah 3 goes into. So, hopefully that shows you about this fornication, man. You got fornication of the flesh, you got fornication of the spirit, to show you what it is. We went to first, right? We went there. I was looking over here real quick. Right. All right. So hopefully that helps out. Somebody else had their hand raised. Y'all get that? About fornication? Con?
Can I say?
Yeah, what's up?
What about the fornication too? Because I was thinking about if there be any such vain person such as Esau. So I mean any fornicator profane such as Esau, who for one morsel of bread sold his birthright, right? So when you think about Esau, he didn't commit like fornication with a woman. He committed fornication with the Most High. And he sold his birthright for a morsel of bread. Think of how petty that is.
Right.
Think of how petty that is, man. Like, you turned away from the Most High. Like, you know his laws. You know what you were finna get.
Right.
And you turned away for a morsel of, you sold it. You gave it up.
You just gave it away for meat.
Right.
For uncooked meat.
That goes back to Jeremiah 3. That shows you how the Most High dealt with us. It's like, I've given you all this. You go to Ezekiel 16. He says, when he seen us, we were nothing. We were amongst the heathens. We were dirty. We were filthy. Right? He said he washed us and cleansed us. Then he comes back and say, wow, now you got a forehead. You know what I mean? Because you think what? You think you're good, right? So, yeah, that's how Israel did. Just like Esau, man.
Well, it's just because I mean, we do it now, man. Like we'll forsake the Most High in so many different ways, and it's like it just had me thinking about Esau. Like he forsook it over me, but like, what do you forsake it as? What do you forsake the Most High for? Because I mean, you can't forsake it. I mean, a lot of us do, but we forsake it for like the beggarly elements, and it's nothing. You don't put the Most High first, but you put your job first, your car first, your comfort zone first. And it said that Esau was a. Can we go there? Come on.
Yeah, it's Hebrews 12 verse 16.
I didn't want to butcher it.
Yeah, Hebrews 12 verse 16. Huh?
It's Hebrews 12:16. It says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person." So a lot of us don't think, man, like when we forsake the Most High over something so small and carnal, like we become profane, man. We become profane in the eyes of the Most High. You don't want that. Yeah. You don't want to be profane in the eyes of the Most High over these beggarly elements, you know?
Right.
Yeah, that's what I had on it.
Okay, yeah. No, that goes right into tonight's class, too, because that's exactly what we're talking about is putting forth things before the Most High. It's crazy that the brother or sister asked that question, but it goes right into it. It's people don't understand that that's what you do to the Most High. You commit spiritual fornication by putting all these things before Him. But go there. Go to Exodus 20 and 3.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. And I was a smooth entry because just to go back, a lot of small things, in our life that we don't think is extreme to ourselves, but it's actually a distraction, and it's literally a God. But read the scripture.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 3.
Right.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Yeah, y'all need to make a list of things in your life that could be a God. Things that you give more attention to. Things that you sacrifice getting in the Word to do. If it's TV, if it's food, if it's drinking, if it's partying, if it's, once again, if it's the wrong person at the right time that you're talking to. It's crazy how that happens. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Right.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Don't worship anything, man. There's a lot of things. We worship money. If it's a car, if it's houses, if it's clothes, we put all these things before the Most High. But that's why it goes back to, Exodus 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other God. This is a commandment. The Most High said, listen, get your mind right and understand where your priorities are at.
You got to ask yourself, what things you have joy in, right? What's that? Just think about it. What's that thing that you're like, yeah. That's idolatry. That's adultery. That's that spiritual fornication. That's you putting it before the Most High. Now, you can have joys in life, but a lot of times is that joy the release. So when we talk about this God, right? This is a God. So you're saying, Kazaki, when I bite into a Krispy Kreme, I can't enjoy that? Well, some of you enjoy that more than the Word. Right? Some of you enjoy that more than, Some of you enjoy that more than putting your spirit into study. Right? Some of you you rather have sex for 8-9 hours. You'd rather drink. Right? Well, how do you know if it's a God? How do you know if it's God? Yeah.
Your spirit.
Talk loud. What?
Your spirit. By your spirit.
Yeah. By your spirit. What else? What else, John?
By you putting more time into what you like more so than putting the time into the Most High.
There you go. By you putting more time into that. What else? What else, Abadiah?
I was gonna say you'll make time, you'll sacrifice to give to that whatever it is that pleasure.
Right.
Before you will
do it to the Most High. You sacrifice for those pleasures except for the Most High. What else, Ariel?
Pertaining to putting things before the Most High.
That's what subject, Ron.
That's where your comfort is.
That's what?
That's where you take solace as opposed to the scripture.
There you go. You get the comfort in that, right? There's the ease when you pop that 40 ounce. You know, you're like, oh, Calgon, take me away. You know, this is it.
It's that burn.
Yeah.
It's that instant gratification. That desire you.
But it's instant, but it's something you look forward to except the Most High.
Right.
Because it's like the end of the day. Are you thinking that the Most High released this tension during the day? Or are you thinking the day built up the tension and the beer is going to release it? The sex is going to release it. My Netflix series is going to release it. Supergirl is going to release it. As soon as I know nobody watches Supergirl, but I'm just saying, you watch these things. No, go ahead. You was going to say Abadiah?
No, I'm just gonna let
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Verse 4, last precept. Or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right, so they're still talking about things that we're worshiping, putting over the Most High. Read.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
Yeah, think about that. It says, thou shalt not bow down. You're bowing down your mind. You bow down your time. You bow down your physical body to these things. If it's food, if it's clothes, if it's the gym, if it's a certain guy that you like, certain female that you like, that's always on your mind. Read that again from the top.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
It says, thou shalt not bow down yourself to them. Read.
Nor serve them.
Yeah, nor serve them. That's why the Most High has, or he's upset with us. Because we started to serve these guys. The Most High said, listen, have no other God before me. And with that, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12. But yeah, the Most High said, don't serve them. Continue to read.
For I, the Most High, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Right. The Most High wants your attention to be on him, to be on his word. But the reason being is to actually raise his people up. There's a reason behind it. Rather than us, put all our attention into these Netflix series. Oh, listen, we know all the breakdowns. We know the characters' names, their plots, what's going on. Listen, I know cats that talk about, what is that? What's the cartoons? What you call them?
The animes.
The animes. Oh, listen, we got people coming to the card that break down anime. Yeah. I'm like, God, listen, if I only could do that with the Bible. But once it takes. Go ahead.
I was going to ask what's the title of your class, if we're in your class right now.
Yeah, we're in the class.
You can say, I don't have time for the Most High. I don't have time for the Most High. But once again, yes, saying again, the Most High is a jealous God. Can I get that 1 Corinthians 6 and 12?
You was going to say Abadiah, what's up?
I was just going to say, if I put into practice saying that more, the Most High is a jealous God.
Yeah.
Before I do
something,
those things that take more of my time than the scriptures.
Right.
Giving that glory to the Most High.
Right.
Like getting up every day and thanking Him for the ability to get up.
Right.
Because if I did that more, then the days wouldn't be as stressful.
There you go.
I wouldn't have to pop that 40 or smoke that weed.
Right.
Or eat all that food. Or,
right. Yeah. It's the same thing you're looking for, you don't never get because you don't know how to get it. You're looking for peace, comfort, joy. You're looking for ease, but those things never come because you don't put your trust in the Most High. And I know people are thinking like, well, what do you mean by put your trust in the Most High? Like the religion's like, well, all you got to do is believe in Jesus. Like you have a picture up there and be like, yeah, I believe in him and it all makes it right. Well, it's more than that. It's just more knowing the Most High's name. It's applying the wisdom of the Most High to pull me through these things, to be able to know that Christ went through the battles, that he was comfort. That, look at the apostles, the prophets, all these great men in the past, right? So, because that's why we look to carnal things, because we don't think that there's any really spiritual thing that can give me that release. Yeah, the high. Exactly. Like I need, like what you're talking about, it don't make sense. Like I need a release. Well, the physical things don't give you a release. Eating a burger or a sandwich or a Netflix series don't release you. It just gives you that moment, like, oh, you relax for a second. But that's not long term. This is a mental disease over time. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing you were saying, that a lot of the things that we go into are tangible. Like
right.
You can touch it, you can see it, you can smell it.
Right.
But even though we have the Bible here, it's still not tangible because you don't have the faith.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you're dealing with a spiritual thing, the thing that cannot be seen. And it goes back to all the drugs and everything you're doing, right? You know, they popping the pills, right? Because they want to zone out for the moment. Well, that's a god to you. These are other gods to you that you put before the Most High. And that's more important. But it goes down because, you know, and I don't want to hit on all these points already, but there's a lot of things, man, that you put your spirit into, and you could be doing... you could be doing for the service of the ministry. You could be doing for the nation. You know, you could be doing it in your spare time. You get sisters that, once again, you'll be scrolling on the internet. You'll be chatting on Instagram or Facebook. And it'd be hours gone. And you could have been listening to something productive. You know, and you don't know how to occupy your mind in the things that are going to strengthen you. You know, that's why they got things like, you know, what's his name? The Robbins, the coach guy, the motivational speakers. Okay. You know why they got them? Yeah, Tony Robinson. You know why? Because there's people that don't. You know why they got trainers? I was looking at this in the gym the other day, and I seen this old guy. He wasn't doing nothing. All he was. I'm taking a shot at a trainer here right now, and what I'm saying is that, and some people need that though. Some people need it, but you wouldn't need it if you know how to control your mind to do it, right? So you have the power within. I'm not trying to lose business for you. I know, I'm just messing.
Listen, I train with the spirit.
Right. Right. But you know, the thing is that people don't understand that you lack these things because you lack the mental capacity. We know that's the spirit that brings us to this level. So yeah.
I was gonna say too on that point, when those things that are distracting to us, those the Netflix and the things that take us off of putting our attention on the Most High, aren't those spirits themselves? And in having that spirit on you, aren't you easily attracted to other spirits out there?
There you go.
So like,
yep.
You're into Netflix and you know every series on the Game
right.
of Thrones, and like every corner you turn, there's somebody that's a Game of Thrones fiend,
right.
just like you.
Right.
And that's all you talk about.
Right.
You never talk about anything else but that. And
right.
Because that's the spirit, right?
Yeah. Oh, those are spirits, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I want you to hold. I want you to hold that, Jeremiah, but I want you to get for me, John, Ecclesiastes 3:1. You can stand up there. I'm going to come right back to you. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 3 and verse 1. You know, a lot of these things that we're talking about, we don't want to deem them as if they're just demonic and evil, but the Most High is trying to show us how are we dealing with these things. All right? Read that, John.
Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Read.
To everything there is a season.
See, the Most High is letting us know to everything there's a season. There's a time when you can relax and watch some Netflix. There's a time when you can have a nice Subway sandwich with some chips and some pickles and your feet up on a chair. It's time for that. It's time when you can go ahead and have a nice little glass of wine, nice little steak. There's time for that. Read.
And a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Yeah, there's a time for it. Now go ahead, Jeremiah.
Okay.
Read where you at.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Read.
All things are lawful unto me.
Right. See, Paul is saying all things are lawful, but that's obviously under the law. Read.
But all things are not expedient.
See, the things that are lawful, they're not expedient. Netflix is not expedient. Talking to your girlfriends at 3 o'clock in the morning is not expedient when you got to go to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Or whatever type of distraction that you may have. If it's video games, computer games, Netflix, but it's not even Netflix, it's a Netflix binge. You watch a whole season. Like I said, or it's your bed. You lay in your bed, you just want to go straight to sleep. You try to read the Bible in your bed, you get like about 5 scriptures and you're done. Get out your bed. We have to understand what's good for us. And not even that, but at what time we're able to actually deal with those things. Once again, like if you have John, right? You deal with the housing. You can't sit at home watching Netflix with that business, can you? No. Nah. Because you sit here writing letters. I gotta think about this. I gotta hit this person up. I gotta send this email out. You're distracted. There's a lot of things that we put in front of us that distracts us from our main purpose. And that's really what this class is. The class is going about time management, understanding what's good for us. I want you to pull that scripture that you showed me. Understanding what's good for us at the right time.
Okay. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 37 and verse 27.
Yeah, so we have to understand what is good for us.
Okay. But yeah, it's what it's about too is like, well, the scripture's going to show it. It's about seeing what's good for your soul and giving yourself to it.
Let him read it.
Go ahead, read.
Come on. Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 37 and verse 27. Come on. My son, prove thy soul in thy life.
So yeah, try your soul. Try your spirit. See what's your weakness and see what's your strength. See what do I give into easily and what do I not give into easily. And the things that you do give into easily, start setting up boundaries to where you can start battling that, to where you can start fighting that, to where you can actually move on from that. Read.
Done. And see what is evil for it.
Yeah, because then you can actually see what's evil for it. Like, examine yourself. Examine yourself. You'll make your life a lot easier in these battles and these different arenas that were put in daily by the Most High.
Yeah, that's what me and Ariel was talking about today. About when you fast, you're restraining your body. You're controlling your body, and that's why fasting is good. Because you start to realize what your problem is. A lot of people don't understand that you got to fast from a lot of things. Because they have power over you more than the Most High. And it's when you see and you look and you're like, you see brothers with mental problems, sisters with mental problems, and you're like, well, what is your day like? What are you doing? Like, for instance, I walked in on my rib today. She was at work. I'm like, what are you listening to? I mean, if you can listen to earphones and work, what are you listening to? You know what I mean? What are you occupying your mind with daily? Because, listen, one day flips into 30 days like this. Pow. And then those 30 days, you could have been putting all kind of wisdom and knowledge in your mind. But little did you know, you was listening to music, you was listening to something that was not on point. That's how, that life is fast. All I remember, I was 20, now I'm 40. Bam, done. It's over. It's over. I don't remember anything else. I'm like, how did I get old so quick? Right? But what things are you picking up spiritually on the way? That way, as this time passes, you're growing in the spirit. So the only way you do that is by proving your own soul. A lot of people don't understand that. This is like we were talking today, the God-like mentality. Ye are gods. You would never know what the hell it is to be a god when you can't control yourself from smoking a cigarette, from getting high, from doing a Netflix series, from sexual deviance and things like that. You wouldn't know because you don't have no power over you. You don't have no power over your body. And we never know how much power we do have until we start applying the knowledge of the Bible. Because the Bible teaches us to forsake and to control the flesh. Right? That's why I said to be carnally minded is death. See, but you're not going to learn these things. You're going to constantly give yourself to the gods of this world. What?
I was convicted on Wednesday. Like when I got up, I was like, man, it couldn't be.
Right.
But, it was funny when Thursday came.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? But they right though.
Right.
So between something now sometimes I do listen to a street teaching or listen to some gospel or something. But sometimes I be like, when I'm waiting on the customer, I might jump on the Xbox. I might just go shoot some hoops or something.
Right.
Then I was like, that do make sense. So I said, let me go back to that because I was doing that once upon a time, getting up, getting in my word.
Right.
Well, I always start my day off like that.
Right.
But then some point of the day, I tend to get back to those worldly things.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday I got up and I just started going over the 316 breakdown. I started
there you
going
go.
over the other things. And before I know it, I was like, damn, I see what the brothers are talking about. Say, when you doing this, you ain't got no time for yourself. Because, like, before I knew it, like, the whole day was over with. I'm like, man, I'm tired, bro. Like,
right. But you did majority of the day studying.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're occupying your mind with things of wisdom. Right. And a lot of people don't see. Think about how fast your day goes. You know, I be getting up probably not as early as some of you sisters, like 6. I see Shara gets up about 6, but I be getting up about 8 because little man, and the day just like 8 to 12, just pow, gone. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I just made a few runs and did this and that, and it's 12 o'clock already, right? So the day goes quick, and if you let these days go, you won't learn nothing. You won't be occupied in righteousness. But read it again,
It says, my son, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it.
Now, let me say this on that. The reason why you have to prove yourself, and like it says in 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourself, is because when you examine yourself, you're judged of no man. The reason why a lot of you have to be corrected is because you're not examining yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
And I like that. Can somebody get that? 2 Corinthians 13:5, because that, like he said, it's the God mentality, but it's a higher consciousness. Because now you're understanding that you're at war. You're understanding that this world could be pulling on you in all different type of ways.
Right.
If it, like, once again, we're going to keep reiterating Netflix, food, drinks, clothes, cars, driving, whatever it may be, walking in the park. Cat's got a lot of different issues that pulls them. But once read that.
2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5.
Yes.
Examine yourself.
Right there. Examine yourself. Read.
Whether ye be in the faith.
Yeah, examine yourself whether you be pleasing to the Most High. Because when you walk in this faith, that's what we're walking for. That's what we're walking. That's the reason why we're walking. To please the Most High. To raise up our brothers and sisters around us. But to do that, we have to make sure that we're on point, that we're prepared. And there's a lot of things in this world that takes us from it. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to Proverbs chapter 11. With that, Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 11. Actually, 11 and 1. And this is just to show how the Most High likes to have an equal balance. Because whenever you're not balanced, your life is in chaos. If you're too far to the right, the things on the other side are not being taken care of. For example, we got parents in the house. Whenever you're not at home, you're not fixing food, you're paying attention to yourself. Where your kids lack now. They don't have food to eat. The house is all messy now. Because why? You're paying attention in other areas. You're on your phone. Just all these different distractions that might come. Read that.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1.
Right.
A false balance is abomination to the Most High.
See, the Most High said a false balance is an abomination to himself. It's wickedness. It's detestable to him. He does not like that. He likes an even balance. A man that is, just weights?
Yeah.
He likes a man that's able to deal with, once again, his household, deal with the house of faith, deal with brothers, all that. But once again, it's understanding what's taking our attention.
Yeah, it comes over time. It's practice.
Right.
You have to practice. The point of the scriptures is to bring it to our attention. Right? And then you got to practice it. Right? And understand, because once again, you're not going to be able to examine yourself if you don't even think it's an equation. Because a lot of people don't think, well, I'm not doing nothing wrong. All things are lawful but not expedient. Right? You are doing something wrong. You know what you're doing wrong? You're squandering your gift and wasting time. Like, yeah, you could be over there playing video games. You could be doing this. You could be doing that. But what are you supposed to be doing? What are you called for? Right, exactly. That's why brothers don't understand why we create arenas, no different than any other place. We create arenas to get you involved with this, so your mind can be about this. But see, when you avoid those arenas, right, then you're not going to get what your service is, your duty is, your ministry is. It's no different, man. If you went to a basketball camp, right, and you was like a week of basketball camp, they have events set up, right, in the basketball camp. It might not be basketball every day, but there's events set up to keep you in the basketball mind. It's no different than the camps of schools, the truth, to keep you in the mind of the Most High and the Spirit. But when you avoid them, you're not going to do like the Bible says. You're not wearing out the footsteps of the wise. You're not going to learn these things because you're not occupying yourself with those things. So you got to really be looking at yourself and understand this is a problem with a lot of brothers and sisters and why you guys got a lot of issues. Right. Because you're not doing what the Bible says. You're putting these things in the world before the Most High. Watch. What scripture? And then we'll jump right back. 2 Corinthians. Go to 2 Corinthians. Real quick. 2 Corinthians, and it's 12. Is it 12? Let's see. 2 Corinthians 4, sorry. 2 Corinthians 4, verse 4.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4.
Read 3.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
But if our gospel be hid,
uh-huh,
it is hid to them that are lost.
Go ahead.
In whom the God of this world.
Yeah, it ain't talking about the Most High. It's talking about the God of this world. The God of this world. Y'all forgetting there's a power of this world that keeps us distracted with stupidity and madness. I hate it, but I'm conscious of it. You know, I'm conscious when I'm in the bathroom, in the meeting room, right? God. And you could be in there a 45-minute session. That's just what men do. You know what I mean? And you could be scrolling through your phone and you could have read a whole chapter. Right. You're not using your time valuably. Yeah. And like you said, then when it comes to your family and your kids, then when it comes to the camp, it's like, nah, put that aside. I got to take care of my family. It's like, why you didn't think about that when you had quality time to do that? You want to put it up there and make it seem like now the camp is taking away your quality time. That's where the confusion and chaos comes in, because you don't know how to itemize your time. You understand that? Go ahead.
God.
In whom what?
In whom the God of this world,
right,
has blinded the minds of them.
Right. How is he blinding the minds? What? Yes, with all the Illuminati tricks. TV, music, radio, thinking that, you know, the lust of the flesh, the pride of life, the things in this life is worth more than your service and your duty. If you was a rapper, you would be out there with Lil Wayne. Stop fooling yourself. The Most High called you to do this job. If you was a model, you wouldn't be on Instagram taking pictures. You would be in Mulan on the catwalk. Right? This is your service. This is your duty. This is your office. So how do you get better at that? Well, one we're talking about tonight, being conscious that you're giving yourself in things that is put before the Most High. Go ahead.
God, of them which believe not.
Right. So you got to watch the God of this world and his tactics. You know, I know it sounds simple, but it's so simple that you forget daily that that's what's happening to you. It's so simple, you forget daily that what? I've occupied 3 hours of not doing nothing, scrolling through my phone. Right? What's up?
Nah, it's real, man, because lately I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
It's like, golly, man. It's like as soon as you wake up, a lot of us, when we wake up, our mind is not where it needs to be.
No, it's I got to get to work. I got to get my coffee. That's why I said, in my household, it's been like, okay, did y'all set up prayers? Did you start out your day setting up prayers? Or did you just wake up, I got time to bake the donuts, got to get to work, got to be the slave.
Gotta get the coffee, got to get to work.
Yeah.
And it's like, we start
your boss, if your boss is on your mind first,
that's it.
Yeah.
there's sisters that's like that. Like, he texts me at 6 in the morning, and I got it. Like, how the hell? I'm your husband.
Right.
I should be the first one on your mind. But the boss is? Holy cow. That's adultery.
Right.
That's spiritual fornication. Right? But the boss is in your brain more. To where the boss's wisdom, his knowledge, is resonating in your mind. And then you want to know why you got problems at home. Because your boss and your job is more important than your husband, your kids, and all these things. You know what I mean? That should be the last thing you talking about. And let me say this. I know we talk about it, but you know why we do it? Just to win you over. Because in my head, I'm thinking like, you really talking about this like this matters. Like, this don't even really matter. Like, but I got to do that to the simple mind. Why? Because they believe that that's the way you're winning me, is to know my life. Nigga, that ain't life. Your job ain't life. Your job is death. That's bringing death to you, man. A lot of you sisters need to wake the hell up. That's sucking you dry of all your spirit, and it's making you have anxiety and more pain and suffering because you're not understanding that the God of this world is trying to occupy your brain more than the Most High. You got to think about it. Why the hell is the first thing in on your mind is, let me say prayers up because I might get in this car and get dead. Get dead. Right? But you're not thinking about that. You're like, oh, I got to get there. Oh, he wants this. What's on the schedule for today? And it's like, really? You see what's going on here? The God of this world blinds our people, man. The God of this world. Go ahead. Where you at?
I'm going to give you a couple definitions just with that.
Right.
Because it talks about balance. The last scripture we went to was Proverbs 11:1, speaking on a false balance. But let's understand what a balance is. All right? I got two definitions for you. One says, an even distribution of weight enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. And that's why we have to examine our lives and ask ourselves, are we steady? Are we actually moving around in a conscious, not disorganized mind frame? Is things going smooth for us, or is it chaos? Am I speeding to work? Dang, I forgot my lunch. Am I at work? Dang, I forgot to turn off the stove or whatever it may be. Are we moving in disarray? Because that goes back to being a false balance. That's an identification as being a false balance. I have another one. This is from the dictionary, dictionary.com. It says, the way of some kind of peace and personal balance. I'm going to say that again.
What word you looked up?
Balance.
Okay.
This is balance. It says the way of some kind of peace and personal balance. It says some kind of peace. Ask yourself, do you have peace in your life? In the things that you do? In the time and spirit that you put your spirit into? Is it peace in that? Do you have a personal balance in going to work? Are you at peace when you go to school? Are you at peace when you go to your job? Because that's where we have to examine ourselves and ask ourselves. Because if we don't, that's a false balance. There's something wrong. Let's get another definition. This is going to be time management. Because time management has to come in because we have to understand what's more important than others. Once again, can I cut off an hour TV and fix dinner for a couple days? Can I cut off not Netflix? Can I cut off going through Facebook? Because listen, if you go on Facebook on your phone, you could be on there for an hour and a half. Snapchat, Instagram, all that. If I give that up, if I suspend my accounts and give it to the Bible, give it to just the audio Bible, because what the audio Bible does and what Kazak taught me with that is listen to the audio Bible in the morning. The scriptures, there's going to be a certain scripture going to catch your mind. You're going to be like, dang, I got to go back and research that real quick. And that's real. But I do that in the morning. I play the audio Bible in the morning. Listen, my rib want to listen to some cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Like, nah, G, where that audio Bible at? Get your mind right in the morning, because a lot of people don't understand. Whenever you get your mind prepared in the morning, it makes everything else peaceful. But that means you're having a balance, because we're putting the power of our salvation ahead of the power of the world. But this definition, time management, is classic, man. It says this, time management. And if anybody's writing it, let me know and I'll repeat it for you. Time management is the process of planning and exercising conscious control. You got to highlight that word, conscious control, because majority people in this world do not have conscious control. They don't have control of their mind, because all these little, like you said, when it comes to Illuminati and all their tactics, the red lights, these ads here, they take our brain and just warp it. We go on a whole, it's like a ferry go round. What do you call it? A Ferris wheel? Around and around and around in BS. And like you said, by the end of the night, it's already 12:30. You ain't do nothing except go to work. You're confused.
Yep.
Friends that you see on Facebook,
you gotta think about this. It's 2018, dude. It just was 2018.
Right.
Now it's already what? February. This year. Dude, but what did you get done? What did you do for the Most High? You know what I mean? Are you still one of those, oh, for the new year, I'm going to be in the spirit of the Lord. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be this. By next year, man, I'm going to be an officer. Like, dude, you don't even occupy your mind right. You don't even prioritize your life. Right? What?
It's like the definition of scrutinize. Because when you look up the definition of scrutinize, it's to examine closely, minutely careful in a critical way, exercising, involving careful thought and judgment, or evolution, having or showing good judgment, decisions that can be based on or carefully thought through.
Yeah?
Con.
But I mean, that's never gonna happen if brothers don't put the Most High first.
Right.
Go to Psalms 94 real quick. Go to Psalms 94 verse 19, and I'll let you come in after this. Go ahead, read that. Psalms 94 verse 19, and because this is the point of this class, man. The point of this class is to wake brothers and sisters up to show them that how much things you put before the Most High. See, when you wake up, is the Most High there? When you in the evening, is the Most High there? I'm going to say this to all y'all that's watching this. How many of y'all pray in the morning? That's prayer in the morning shows where your mind is. Right? It sets the tone, right? Go ahead, John, say it.
I was actually on that. I was listening to Psalms. And
right.
I think I was taking your advice on like listening to Psalms. It said King David would pray at midnight, or like when he would wake up. Like I don't think it was like right in the morning.
He said he prayed 3 times a day. Yeah. He said in the morning, the noon, and the night. Yeah. Right, find that one for me, Lakarob. Yeah, it is. It's in Psalms too. It's a few. Obviously, there's a few of them. Read that, Psalms 94 verse 19.
God, Psalms chapter 94 verse 19. In the multitude of my thoughts.
Right.
Within me, thy comforts delight my soul.
Thy what?
Thy comforts delight my soul.
Right. It's the Most High in the multitude of your thoughts, because that's what this is about. Like, are you putting Yah first? Huh? Are you putting the Most High first? Or are you putting what? Like I said, it's disgusting. I want to vomit in my own mouth when I see our people waking up and the first thing that you're looking at is your boss's text. I want to smack the phone out your hand. Why? Because it's like, tell that nigga, I don't get paid till I come in. Right? Unless you're making me part of the owner of the company. Right. Stop trying to treat. You're not paying me that much for my whole spirit to be about your job. See, but our thoughts ain't waking up to the right thing. That's why I said right now, my household, I'm dealing with, are you praying? If you're running run rap, are you praying in the car? I don't care. You know what I mean? To get them in the right mode as when you get in the middle of the day. You see the Muslims, what do?
12 o'clock, shut that business down. Go pray.
But they will pull over. They will pull over on the dang side of the road.
Put their sandals on.
And sit right there and pray. Why? We know a lot of them is garbo, right? But look at their zeal. They will. But Israel, what? You're praying when you come to class. That's the only time you're praying. You're not understanding how important this is. That's why my kids, man, y'all praying. Y'all make sure y'all set up prayers. Right? Because they don't understand. That starts out their day. Giving them the scripture at the beginning of the day. I did that with my daughter the other day. I ended up taking them the other day, and I was like, what's the scripture y'all got in your head today? Caught her off guard. Right? She's like, I was like, oh, here's one. Right when I picked her up, she said, Dad, I remember that scripture, and she quoted it. I was like, see? Why? Because it occupies their mind. Instead of the white man jizzing on their brain in the first thing in the morning, because that's what's going to happen. He gets them. Why does he want your kids bright and early? Why does he...
So he can program them to think the way he wants them
there you go.
to think and act.
Yeah, and just like you, he wants you to program and for you to act. Turn on that radio and what? Listen to all the damn madness and the radio waves into your brain instead of you turning on the audio Bible. Instead of you turning on, there's many books you could be turning on in the spirit you could be reading. Right. You know what I mean? Even history books. Like, are you edifying your mind with the wisdom? You know, yeah, every day might not be the audio Bible, but you can switch it up. Throw the Josephus on. They got an audio app for that. You can throw that on. You can throw on a history book and throw that on. You can be like some of these rich billionaires. They say, you got to read a book a week. For this year, you got to read a book a week. Facebook, old boy, said, this year I'm going to learn Mandarin and within that year. Zuckerberg, right? But that's how they do. That's their God. But you what? What you going to do? I don't know. I got to go to work. I don't got time for all that. The only important thing to me right now is getting to work because that relieves my stress. Wow. You don't get it. The white man will kill you. He'll have you old and gray hair and broke because you'll be there 25 years and what? We have to let you go.
Yeah. We're doing cutbacks.
We're doing cutbacks. What's up?
Psalms chapter 119 and verse 164.
119 and 164.
Con.
Read that.
Con. 7 times a day do I praise thee.
Right.
Because of thy righteous judgment.
And then it says what? Pray the Most High, or acknowledge the Most High in everything we do. But he said 7 times a day I pray. There's another one that says 3 times.
It's 55 and 17.
What is it?
55 and 17.
55 and 17. Read that one.
That's it.
All right, go ahead. God. Psalms chapter 55 and verse 17.
Yeah, but you look at it. Look at this, man. And you know what these scriptures are about? It's about how are you keeping the Most High focused in your thoughts. How are you guiding this day about the Most High? Because your day begins to 2 to 3 to 7, right? And then a month and a year and it's gone. And you're the same person you were last year. That's where you get up all that. Well, what's your New Year's resolution? To lose weight. Wow, really? That's it? That's easy. That's easy. I was going to take a shot, but go ahead. Read. Go ahead.
55 and 17.
Go ahead.
Psalms, the book of.
Read.
Evening and morning. And at afternoon.
And at noon.
And at noon.
Right.
Will I pray.
Read.
And cry aloud.
Read.
And he shall hear my voice.
Read.
God, verse 18. He
Uh-huh.
that delivereth my soul in peace.
In what?
In peace.
How do you get peace? You want... People don't understand this. How do you get peace? What?
Can you add Psalm 1 in there? Because a
go there next. Finish this.
God.
In peace, what?
In peace.
From
the battle that was against me.
Right. How you go through your battles when the Most High is not on your mind first? He's the one that brings peace. But let's dial it back. Where's the pain and suffering coming from? Putting all these other powers before the one that the God of peace. You put everything before the Most High and want to know why you got anxiety, why you angry, why you're not happy, why this, why that. And it's like, relax. Let the God of peace reign in your heart. But you got to pray. Go ahead.
And I like that. And I like to bring out as well, because this is mainly for the so-called Negroes, Hispanic, and Native American, because we're God's children. We can't dwell in the world like they do. They can do that. This is their world. They have all the peace, all the happiness, but we don't understand. This is not for us. We're not of this world. We may be in this world, but we're not of this world.
Right.
So what that means is that the Most High has them. Like for example, when y'all drive to work, do y'all actually just look at everybody going to work? Like, think about it.
Zombies.
Come on.
Zombies.
6:30. Everybody. It's either they going to work, going to McDonald's.
It's like we were saying today, the Matrix.
Yeah.
I know we're getting excited about this because really, man, if you're not tuned in, you don't see how much your brain is still brainwashed. You claim to be in the truth, but the truth ain't doing nothing for you. Because you still got all these mental issues. Because the God of this world, he got power over you. And it should be the Most High. And what's up, I?
Oh no, you say in traffic, that's the simplest thing. You see 3 lanes, you got like 4 lanes, and you got 2 that are turning left.
Right.
Right? So but as you're approaching those 4 lanes, you see everybody stockpiling this one lane.
Right.
And then when you just drive up a little bit, that second turn lane is wide open.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah, everybody's asleep.
Everybody's like following.
Mentally, physically, spiritually.
It gets worse in the afternoon after lunch.
Yeah.
After they've been at work and their mind is mush, and then they go
right.
get food.
Right.
That's even worse. It kills the brain.
Why do you think? And I know I don't want to take this too far off, but we're still talking about the God of this world, as opposed to the God of the one true God having power over you. Is that why do you think, man? Every time they did this at the Black Martin Luther King Day thing, we went down to San Antonio. That dude from CNN came down there, and guess what he talked about? Jobs. It's like the whole life is more than meat and drink. Like, niggas act like if a job, like, you can go. What the brother tell me, his rib get paid $15 an hour managing in the mall, and I'm like, damn, my rib sits in an office getting paid that much. So you're trying to tell me it's that easy she can work in the mall and make the same amount? Like, you're killing yourself over to be in this high position, and you can get the same amount in a day. In a mall. Right? And my point is this, that the Most High is going to take care of you regardless. But we think, and the white man put in our head, what? The dream. The American dream. So it's all about the dream. And when you're not living that way, you know what I mean? You're not living. But we find out, nah, you know what? There's another way with the Most High, you know?
If you can go to Luke chapter 16 and verse 13 on that point. Because this is true. We give our life to the God of this earth. We give our time, emotions. We meditate on it, like you trying to go to Psalms 1 about meditating on the law. Rather than meditating on the law, we meditate on what's going on in this world. What's going on with our cousins, our friends in the world, in their worldliness. But can somebody give me Luke chapter 16 and verse 13?
Okay.
Read that, please.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 13.
Right, read.
No servant.
You just look a little bit louder for the people online.
Okay. No servant can serve 2 masters.
But I want to point something out. It said no servant. Ooh. See, we have to understand that we're servants of the Most High. He didn't say part-time workers. He didn't say part-time lovers, indentured service where we work for a period of time when we're gone. No. It said servants. Read that again.
For no man can serve 2 masters.
Yeah, it says no man can serve 2 masters. You got to understand that the Most High is our master. The Most High is the one that has employed us to put our minds, our body, and our soul into his work. Read.
For either he will hate the one and love the other.
Yeah, so it's either you're going to hate this world, hate the Most High, or you're going to love the world and hate, what I say?
Yeah.
Love
you're gonna love the world and hate the Most High, or love the Most High and hate the world.
Either or.
Right.
There's a choice, because this is what's going on right now. Once again, it's our minds that has to understand that. Listen, are we gonna give our attention to the Most High or to this world? Which one's gonna take us under? And with that, give me Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26. You want to add something? Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26. And these are good scriptures, because these are scriptures that we really have to meditate on. We have to understand what the Most High is asking from us, and what we need to give the Most High. The Most High, listen, we owe the Most High this, because once we're in the room right now, right? I know everybody got on their knees and prayed to the Most High and was like, listen, Most High, I need some brothers. I need the truth. Show me your truth. It's here for you now. Even those online. You're online listening to the thing that you were searching for. But the question is, what are you going to do for the Most High? Or what are you going to give up? What are you going to give up for the Most High? But read this scripture.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26.
Read.
For what is a prophet? For what is a man profited?
Right. It says for what is a man profited? Read.
If he shall gain the whole world.
Yeah. So what is it if you can gain all your carnalities out there in the world? What is it if you can gain all the money, the clothes, the houses, the children, all your lust that you may have? What is it if you profit that? Read.
And lose his own soul.
Yeah, and lose your own soul, because you don't forsook the Most High. You don't forsook your power for the power of this world. You don't forsook your mind. You don't forsook those around you, your brothers and sisters. It's crazy how we sit back and think about our lives, man, and think about how all the people that didn't tell us to go the right way, they like me, myself, I think about it, man. In high school, right? I say junior high school, nobody was there to give me any type of knowledge or wisdom. So I'm like, dang, why didn't nobody tell me? Now somebody's telling me. But what am I going to do with it? Am I going to continue in that knowledge, or am I going to go back into the wickedness and lose my spirit? Read that from the top.
Okay. St. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 26.
Right, read.
For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world?
Yeah, gain the whole world, read.
And lose his own soul.
Yeah, lose your soul over what? Money. Your job. A job that don't even care about you.
Right. Go, give me that, just on that point, Isaiah 52 and 3 real quick. Go to Isaiah 52 verse 3.
Can I say something on that too?
Yes, sir.
Just on that scripture, man, when you think about it, when you gain the Most High, instead of gaining the world, the Most High gives you the world. He's going to give it to you. So you don't have to go chasing the Most. As long as you chase the Most High, those things that you're trying to chase, he adds it on to you. Right? And he adds it on. It says that the blessings of the Most High, he doesn't add a curse onto it.
Right.
So when you go out and you get it, now it's cursed. Right. Now somebody might break in and steal that damn TV. Or your car might get into a wreck. Or that wife you chase, she might end up doing, you know what I mean? Like
doing dirt, yeah.
Yeah. But when you actually follow the Most High, he sends it to you. He doesn't add a curse to it. And those blessings, man,
they last.
It's a cold class, man. I love it.
Yeah. They last. Yeah. Read that Isaiah 52 and 3.
Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3.
Go ahead.
For thus saith the Most High, ye have sold yourselves for naught.
Yeah, you sold yourselves for naught. Like, you know, what are we getting from the world? What are we getting from the white man? What are we getting from our boss? You know what I mean? Trust me, you know, your boss any minute can let you go. But see, we don't remember who gave us these things. We don't remember to put our trust in the Most High, put him first, right? That all the gods of the world bow to the one true God. Go ahead.
And ye shall be redeemed without money.
Right. That's not going to save you. Isn't that the biggest thing with Israel? It's like, I got to take care of mine. Right. They think life is about bread and meat. And that's the only thing that matters to them. You're going to be saved without money. Right? Go ahead and jump to verse 2.
Verse 2.
Shake
thyself from the dust. Arise.
Right.
And sit down.
Read.
O Jerusalem.
Read.
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the Most High is trying to free us, but you're steadily wavering and thinking, no, I got to get mine to achieve in this life. The Most High is more than meat and drink. He's more than just a job. Go ahead. Jump back. Yeah.
And you know, this scripture's cold too, man. Because it says you sold yourselves for naught. I want everybody online, in class, whether you rewatch class online, think about your life before you found the truth. Think about the time you wasted, man. Think about the hours of TV that you watched, the series, the movies. What profit is that? The video games you played, the time you wasted, the times at the club, the times at the bar, the times at work, the same job that you sold your spirit out for, man. You sold yourself for nothing. And now we're in this position where now we know the truth. And we see who we're working for, who we are serving for, and we're not.
And you're reluctant. You're apprehensive. You're unsure. You're doubting. You're double dutching. You're maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. Like we keep saying it. You do it for the world. Why is there always a problem when it comes to the Most High or the work? Why is everything got to be second guessed? You see, that's a trait, and this thing that is in you is going to destroy you. It's a lack of faith, a lack of belief in the Most High. All right, go ahead.
And with that, we're going to go to Luke chapter 11, verse 38. And this is just to show an example of, our brothers and sisters in the Bible and how they dealt with things in the Bible. Dealt with certain situations where their priorities were at. Read that for me.
Luke chapter 11 and verse 38.
Read.
And when the Pharisees saw it.
It's like it. 10 and verse 38. 10 and verse 38. Somebody pick that up.
Chapter 10 verse.
Luke chapter 10 verse 38.
Read.
Now it came to pass as they went, and that he entered into a certain village.
So it's talking about Christ, Yahushua. Read.
And a certain woman named Martha received him into her house.
Yeah, so Martha received Christ into her house, all right? Read.
And she had a sister called Mary.
All right, now, so this is Mary. Read.
Which also sat at Yahushua's feet.
All right, read.
And heard his word.
See, it said that Mary sat at the feet of Yahushua and heard his word, so she wasn't occupied with whatever else was going on. Well, we're going to see what happened in this story. Read.
But Martha was cumbered about much serving.
Okay, so cumbered. I want somebody to give me the definition of cumbered. It said Martha was cumbered about much serving. Somebody can get that definition for me.
It says cumbered. It says to load.
Yeah, so she loaded herself with things to do.
To trouble.
Uh-oh, she troubled herself. What else she got?
It says to be troublesome to cause trouble or obstruction in.
Right, so it says, but Martha was troubled about much serving. So think about it. Christ came on deck. Let's say it's a priest, but he's sitting here talking. I understand. I understand how Martha was trying to move. But once again, this is the Savior, Hamashiach.
The anointed.
Come on. He coming on deck talking. Listen, I might just have to stop and just listen.
Put everything on pause.
Right, ear hustle.
Yeah.
But once again, it's showing where her priorities were. But let's read on in the story. Read.
But Martha was cumbered about much serving.
Hold on, wait one. You got a question?
Oh, I just had another definition.
Oh, go ahead.
I have to be drawn about and the mind to be distracted.
Yeah, so she was distracted through her worldly things, her serving. All right? Well, listen. Actually, let's read. Let's keep reading.
And came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that my sister have left me to serve alone?
Right, so Martha over here like, dang, Yahweh, you don't care that she, listen, I'm over here beating myself trying to wash these dishes, trying to get these plates of food for you ready so y'all can eat? You ain't mad about that? What do you say?
Bid herself, therefore, that she help me.
Bid herself, therefore, that she help me. So that's Martha still speaking. Continue to read.
And Yahushua answered and said unto her,
Uh-huh.
Martha, Martha.
Yeah, listen, think about it. He's like, Martha, Martha. So she probably was freaking out. He was like, Martha, hold on, Martha, wait one. Read.
Thou art careful and troubled about many things.
Yeah, he's like, listen, you worried about all these other things, man. But where's your priorities at? Read.
But one thing is needful, and Mary hath chosen the good part.
Yeah, the good part was to sit there and listen, to understand who is right there in front of her. That was the priorities. But think about it. Let's bring this back into our lives. What do we do that obstructs us? Not obstructs us, but that takes our attention away to where we're troubled, to where we're not steady.
Right.
What takes us away from the Word? What takes us away from the work of the Most High? What excuses do we have? Because that's all that was. Martha had an excuse. Well, Martha was just busy. All right? Well, we're going to get into some more examples about, number one, having two masters, understanding what's a top priority and what's not. Because the Most High sees all these things.
It's like
go ahead.
This reminds me also when she anointed the oil on Christ's head, and Judas was like, we could have sold that for much.
Right.
But Christ was like, you have me here with you always. I mean, you have the poor with you always, but you have me here with you. Like, I'm finna leave. I'm finna go. So he was showing the importance. Right. And like right here, like you're always gonna have you're gonna always have work that you got to do around the house. You got Christ right here speaking to you. So listen. Right. Listen. You're gonna always have to clean the house, do the dishes, do all these things.
Right. But how are you framing these things around you to stay in the spirit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether you're, I was telling Ariel's daughter, you hear her singing. Yeah, you hear her singing. She's got the earphones on. I'm like, okay, I've listened to you for the past 2 days singing. But imagine if you were singing the scriptures. Imagine if the audio Bible was and I say audio Bible, okay, you're washing dishes, you can't get a book. You know what I mean? But the problem is our habits become the thing we occupy ourselves with. Period, point blank. You know what I mean? You make it a habit, and that's what occupies your time, and that's what you make joy in. So the thing is, it's human nature to pick up habits, right? But when you say human nature, going over Genesis, that's the beastly nature. It's not the new creature nature to pick up the bad habits. The new creature should be picking up the good things. It says covet the what?
The best things.
The best gifts. You're supposed to be coveting the best things and controlling. So this is, like I said, if you talking about becoming a god and ye were gods, well, first of all, you got to control your mind. You got to control your stomach. You got to control your eyes. You got to control how you think. Then we can talk about being gods. But because if you can't do those things, you can't set your priorities right, you're far from being a god. We're far from being a god if we can't do those things. Go ahead.
If I can get up, Luke chapter 14 and verse 16. Luke chapter 14 and verse 16. We're just going in just a little bit more, just once again, in the Bible, to see what were their priorities. Dealing with the word of the Most High, dealing with the business of the Most High, and whenever the Most High called upon their name. Luke chapter 14 and verse 16. Read that.
Luke chapter 14 verse 16.
Read.
Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many.
So what's going on right here? This is a kingdom parable. All right? It's talking about the kingdom. Read.
And sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden.
So he sent out his servant, right? The king sent out his servant. He's like, listen, bring some people back. We got a meal going on. Same thing right now with the truth. Listen, go out, get more men. The laborers is few, or the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. We need more laborers. All right, bring them out. Read.
Come, for all things are now ready.
Right. It's like we need you. Come on over. Food's ready. Read.
Verse 18. And they all with one consent began to make excuse.
Ooh, they all start to lips start to shake, trembling, stuttering. It said they all made what?
Began to make excuse.
Yeah, it began to make an excuse. Think about it. This is talking about a supper with food. Who would deny food? Who would deny, not even that, but a kingdom, a king's food? You know what's laid out? Turkey legs.
Drums.
You probably got a
drums.
Crispy. Sweet potatoes, salad. All corn, lima beans.
Hand-side grapes.
Come on, think about it. But they said they all started to make excuse. You know why? Because they didn't care. But let's see what their excuses were. Read.
The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground.
Okay, so he bought a piece of ground, man. Read.
And I must needs go and see it.
He said he gotta go see it. I gotta go but till the ground. Plant some seeds. I need some money, sir. Read.
I pray thee, have me excused.
He said, listen, have me excused so I gotta deal with the land. I can't make it to the ball. I can't make it to the feast. I can't make it to your kingdom.
You know what's crazy is that he used something so carnal, but how they looked at it, okay, so he used this carnal feast to resemble the kingdom of the Most High.
Right.
But the examples, why did he use those? Because it's the same example. You know what I mean? It's the same things that said if you were going into outer space, somebody would have an excuse. If you were going to go, we're going to go to the moon, there's $1 million there. Oh, yeah, that sounds great. But I got... It's like, damn, you're not even enthusiastic about this.
Oh. Right.
That's how our people are. That's how you know those was black people, though.
Oh, come on.
You know what I mean? Because the white man, bro, we're going to go hike the Everest Mountains. You're like, totally, bro. Let's do it. When are we going to go? This weekend. I'm broke as hell, but bro, we're going to backpack across America. We're going to do it because we're going to show our kids these things. We're going to do this and that. The black man's like, first of all, Master said I got to be at work on Monday. That ain't going to be, I can't do that.
Bro,
I ain't got no money for that. That's how you know it's black people. Because I've bidden you to this feast with all these glorious things. And you still didn't even have a second thought about not coming up with an excuse. Now, we're talking about just showing up. How much more doing the office and the duty of it? Because the other parable goes into the service of it. The 5 virgins that were prepared. And the ones that weren't, right? It shows you, man, how Israel don't give a damn. That's why, off topic but on topic, you can't worry about what people do. Because niggas will make everything look bored. You understand? That's why he said, when they make their faces like this, don't pay no attention to that. Our people, man, do that. Dealing with the service and the office and the duties of what we got to do. They make you, like, that ain't important. Like, the Most High's work is important in your little peon life. You know what I mean? That you weren't headed nowhere. And you're not going to be headed nowhere without the Most High. Go ahead.
I just want to bring out just the Hebrew word of excused. All right? It's going to be it's a parhethium ahi. All right? This is a G3844 in the Strong's Concordance.
Wait, it's what? Yeah. Oh, you should have read it in Hebrew. They broke it down wrong. Yeah, they just broke that down. Where is that?
It's in the Strong's.
Is it Strong? That's Greek.
Yeah, Greek.
Oh, I thought you said Hebrew. I thought you said Hebrew. Yeah, that's Greek.
All right. The word meaning excused, this is the definition of that word excused. It says to beg off. It says to decline, to shun, to avoid, make excuse. It says refuse and to reject. So when they say that they start, I pray thee, have me excused, it says that, listen, I pray that you have me, I reject what you're asking of me. So it says that they rejected it. But go ahead and drop that what you wanted to.
It's going to drop up. Matthew chapter 22, verse 5.
Right.
And it's the same parable that we read in Luke, right? But in this Matthew's, this verse 5, it has something nice in it. Read that. Gives you a little bit more understanding. Matthew chapter 22, verse 5. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 22 and verse 5.
Read.
But they made light of it.
And that's it. We made light of it. So those servants that were bidden to the marriage, to the wedding, to the feast, they made light of it, and that's what we do a lot. We make light of everything, but we give our spirit to everything else. But when it comes to the work of the Most High, when it comes to studying, when it comes to putting in your break, we make light of it. Read.
And went their ways.
We rather do our own thing. We rather go on our own path. Read.
One to his farm.
Yeah, we rather go to work. We rather put our jobs first. We rather put our time, our spirit, our
because
effort.
I know that's gonna pay off if I do it for myself.
Right.
My way.
My way.
That's why, yeah, read.
Another to his merchandise.
And another to his possessions.
Yeah, that's why you got brothers. You know, it's funny. You got brothers now. They acting like this work is our work. Like we just decided to come up with this. Like that's what you want me to do. Like we're like, what you gonna do? We're gonna get together and we're gonna counsel people that don't give a damn. Like this is our work.
For free.
Yeah, for free. And then you can talk crap about us. You can shit on the work, right? And then we're supposed to love it. Yeah, let's get together and do that. That's a great idea. That's why and for brothers watching, you know who you are that do that. Oh, that's your work. You want me to come do that because that's what you're doing. What the hell do you think Christ was pulling them out from? When Matthew, he picked him up. Bartholomew, Andrew, Peter, Paul, all these brothers.
Tax fishermen.
He was pulling them from their work and making him do his work. This ain't our work. Right. I mean, it's work that we do, but it ain't our work. This is higher than us. Trust me, we don't. The carnal man.
We could have thought of this.
Yeah, we could have thought of this, but really, the carnal man, we would be doing what? Exactly how you do, which is what? I can do better things than putting my time to stubborn, stiff-necked ass people. So this ain't our work. The carnal man, the carnal man said, listen, I don't even want to deal with you. But the spiritual man knows that when you draw one from sinning, you cover a multitude of sins. But the carnal man is saying, nah, these niggas are hard-headed and stubborn, like Jonah said. He's like, why I gotta go to them? Right? That's what the carnal man is saying. But the spiritual man is saying, nah, be ye followers of me as I'm a follower of Christ. So for you to come up and say some dumbass stuff like that is because your brain has slowed down and went 8, 9, 10, 20 years back instead of moving forward in the spirit, not understanding all this whole service and office is the Most High's calling.
No, that was it. That was it.
Right. No, that was good.
Yeah, with that, I'm going to Luke chapter 2 and verse 42, just to show the opposite side. Because we saw the side of, excuse makers. But now let's see another side of someone that has their mind focused. That's someone that has their priorities in line. That's someone that has that understands what's important. All right? Luke chapter 2 and verse 42.
Luke chapter 2, verse 42.
Okay.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
So we already know who this is talking about. This is talking about Yahushua, Hamashiach, the anointed one. This is the one that we're supposed to follow. All right, read.
And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem.
All right, so it says when they fulfilled what they were supposed to do, they were supposed to return. Christ went with them. All right, read.
And Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
Yeah, so he dipped off. He was like, listen, y'all some distractions. I got to, gotta go. Think about it. His parents didn't know where he went to.
Right.
Read.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company,
okay, read,
went a day's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances.
See, I like this. I like that little that verse right there, 44. Because they already knew where Yahushua was at. You know why? Because they understood his mind. They already knew what he was about. He went out there in them streets at the bars. He went out there at the street chasing no tail. Nah, I already know where he gonna be at. This little guy's over here at the temple, putting in work. Mm-hmm. Read that again, verse 44.
Verse 44. But they, supposing him to have been in the company.
Yeah, been in the company. They knew where he was at. Read.
Went a day's journey.
You had to go back a day's journey. Read.
And they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances.
But then if you look at that word, it says their kinfolk. He was around his own people. Israelites. Jews. Read.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him.
Read.
And it came to pass, that after 3 days they found him in the temple.
Yeah, they found him in the temple. Read.
Sitting in the midst of the doctors.
So think about it. He left his parents, but he was in the temple putting in work. So once again, he already knew his parents might have been a distraction. Listen, I got some work to do. Y'all can go ahead. I'm going to turn around back. He's 12 years old. He's a grown man. Obviously, 12 years old, he's able to be a priest.
Not these days.
Right.
12 years old. I mean, 20, 30.
Right.
You ain't thinking like that. You thinking like, listen, my mama take care of me.
That's free rent right there. Huh?
Right. This is 12. That's one thing I like about when you go back to the ages of the scriptures. You see how young men started thinking with wisdom and understanding. Kings that were young as hell. Right? Go ahead.
Read.
Both hearing them and asking them questions.
Right, ask them questions. Read.
Verse 47. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
Yeah, Christ was in there putting in work, going through the precept upon precept, through these scriptures, teaching his people.
I keep saying it, like, everybody got their calling. What's your calling?
Right.
And how are you going to make your calling and election sure? Right? Well, you got to be occupied in the Word. You got to be occupied in your office. Go ahead.
Read.
Verse 47. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed.
Read.
And his mother said unto him,
ooh, this is the best. Read.
Son, what hast thou thus dealt with?
Yeah.
Son,
go ahead.
Why hast thou thus dealt with us?
Right. Basically, they was like, listen, why you do us like that? Why you run from us? Why did you leave us and we didn't know where you was at? Read.
Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing.
Read.
And he said unto them.
Remember this. This is a 12-year-old young man. Read.
How is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Yeah, Christ said, listen, man, you already know I'm man. I'm doing the work of my father. I'm about his business. We're not about the business of the world.
That was a 12-year-old man, right? And we say man because at that time, he was acting like a man.
Right.
How many of us got to be forced, preached to, right, threatened, right? We got to go back to the Bible and reiterate that what your calling is. When it's in you, it's in you, right? You don't have to be coached and, yay, kumbaya, right? Now, we know the scriptures say you got to be taught, but at the same time, it's something that got to be in you also, right? Now, let's go back then. All right, everybody's conning me now, right? Con. Okay, con, then where are your priorities? Huh? Con. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, back to the point that he was making, I find this really encouraging too, because Yahushai at 12, we're reading what he was doing at 12, but he didn't just start. He had been doing that.
Right.
It was a pattern.
It had to be, because for them,
like he said, it was in him.
Yeah, for them to, be searching for him, and when he said, you already know what I'm about.
Right.
Like, so they, parents know their kids, like, the spirit's on this kid. What is he talking about? Right? So they knew the spirit was on him, man. Yeah.
Okay. I noticed something about this verse 46, right? When it says sitting in the midst of the doctors, so that's where they found Christ. In the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, right? So when you think about it, they that are whole need not of a physician. So what's really our job here? We're doctors. Yeah, we're doctors. Because when you look up the definition of doctor in the Strong's, it says an instructor, a doctor, a master, a teacher. But in the world, you have the worldly doctor, which, yes, they save your life, but they save your fleshly life. But our job as these doctors here, we're saving the spirit. We heal you through the spirit. And in turn, we save your life as well. But I just wanted to show that because that's dope. It's dope because when it says he's sitting in the midst of the doctors, I remember when I had read it, I was like, damn, so he's sitting in the midst of like doctors, I guess, you know what I mean, worldly doctors. When you actually look it up, it's masters, teachers. So he was sitting in the midst of the priests.
Yeah.
And it says,
and teaching them.
God.
For them to be amazed at a 12-year-old boy, that's insane, man. So, but you know, once again, how did he get there? What did he occupy himself with to be in the spirit? What was he talking about? So, the word. Well, where are you at? Where are you occupying yourself? See, that's why, you know, that it says that they were addicted. You know, yeah, they were addicted to the truth. But once again, where are you at? Where is it at? No, go to James. Go to James 1:15 real quick. And this is what we have to remember, man. This whole point of this class is to remind brothers and sisters that your priorities can't be pulled. You can't be pulled away. You can't be drawn into the things of the flesh. Where are you giving your priorities to? Well, how about this? Let the scriptures speak. And let's find out where. Go ahead.
You said James chapter 1, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Then, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
Go ahead.
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Go ahead.
Do not err, my beloved brethren. Every good gift and every perfect gift.
Wait, hold on. We skipped a point here. I wanted to bring out. James, hold on. I think it's up. You just gotta go up a little bit.
Verse 13?
Yeah.
Let no man say, when he is tempted,
right,
I am tempted of God.
Right.
For God cannot be tempted with evil.
Go ahead.
Neither tempteth he any man.
Right.
But every man is tempted.
Right.
When he is drawn away of his own lust.
So what are you drawn to? Right? So when the roads is split, what are you drawn to? Right? Well, hey, judge yourself. What do you like to do more? What are you trying to be around more? Are you worrying out the doorstep? Huh? Are you coming to class and asking 50,000 questions? You ain't studying. You ain't gonna answer. You ain't gonna ask questions. But when you're asked, oh, break that down, you stuttering. Right? When you ask sisters, where's this scripture at? I don't know. Why? Because what are you drawn to? What is occupying your mind? Everybody in here should always have questions. But you ain't, and I'm not saying you're not going to know, but there's a lot of things that you're supposed to say, you know what? Like Jeremiah, when you called me the other day, I need this. We need this. Right? Because he's trying to think about, okay, I know this, but this is what I don't have. I need to get this. That's the things y'all supposed to be asking. But what are you drawn away? What are you drawn into? That's why I said, reminding his daughter about what she's listening to. You can see, I'm listening to music all day. That's good to her. But your habits are going to get you into learning more of the carnal things. Go ahead.
Done. Of his own lust.
Right.
And enticed.
Right. So what are your desires? You desire to be in the spirit? Or you desire to be defined by the fleshly things? Go ahead.
Verse 15. Then, when lust hath conceived,
right,
it bringeth forth sin.
Right.
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Read.
Do not err, my beloved brethren.
Now we get into this point. Go ahead.
Every good gift and every perfect work is from above.
What you want gifts. You want to have the knowledge. You want to be sharp in the scriptures. You want to be on point. You want to have all these things, but what are you drawn to? Is it to the Most High? Is it to wisdom? Or is it to the carnal crap around you? I mean, you see how easy it is? This is not like rocket science, man. You do what you like. So that's why, remember this, man. What you like and what you're putting your spirit into, if that's before the Most High, he said he's a jealous God. He's going to destroy you. Why? Because you're going to destroy yourself, obviously, but he's a jealous God. Where are we at? Right. Go there. Go to Romans 6. real quick. Romans 6 and 10.
Romans chapter 6 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
Give me a comment when you got it. Con. For in that he died.
Right.
He died unto sin once.
Right.
But in that he liveth.
Read.
He liveth unto the Most High.
Read.
Likewise, reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin.
Right. So we got to kill that negative. You got to kill that negative desires. How you going to put the Most High first? You got to kill the negative desires. You got to stop putting the flesh first.
Right.
The comfort first. What you think is comfort, because it's not comfort. That's why you never at comfort. You always got damn mental problems. Start getting better habits, right? Know what is good unto you and give thyself unto it. We put that one, right? That's what you have to understand. Go ahead.
God.
Read.
Dead unto sin.
Right.
But alive unto the Most High.
Right. Go ahead.
Through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Right. That's the only way it's going to happen. If you to be more in the spirit is occupying yourself with things in the spirit. Go ahead.
Our Lord. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body.
Right. Go ahead.
That ye should obey it in the lust thereof.
Right. It's going to get to the point here. Go ahead.
Neither yield ye your members.
Neither do what?
Yield ye your members.
What are you giving yourself to? This is your members, your body, your mind. Is it all about your stomach? Is it all about food? Is it all about clothing? Is it all about this so-called freedom? You know, a lot of brothers have a problem with that. Like, I feel in prison. You are a prisoner for Christ.
God.
It's like, damn, I can't breathe. You act like you breathing in the world.
Right.
Oh, that's where your breath is. Like, you're not breathing in the world. What the hell are you talking about? Like, y'all just take up everything. The thing is, you know why you feel you can't breathe? Because you don't know what breathing is. You don't know what real freedom is. So, you give yourself over to those things that's going to destroy you. Go ahead.
Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin.
Right. So, once again, are you going to be addicted to the truth, to the ministry, or are you going to be addicted to Netflix? You're going to be addicted to damn radio and R&B or some madness, or are you going to be addicted to getting more knowledge and building yourself in the spirit of the Most High? You understand that?
Yeah.
That's the point here, man, to put the Most High first before all, before yourself. Go ahead.
God. But yield yourselves unto the Most High as those that are alive from the dead.
Right. Go to Colossians 3 and 5. And that's the point, man, that we're supposed to be putting ourselves and giving ourselves more to the spirit of what the Most High wants.
God.
The things that's going to build you in the spirit. I mean, we can direct this and start going into, you know, all these problems you're having is because you're not studying. To the pure, all things are pure. Well, you can't have a pure mind if you're always occupied in evil. Right? What?
And like it was brought out early with prayer, when you approach the Most High and you petition Him and you ask or beg Him to help remove those things that are distractions from you, He'll remove them because He wants our attention to be on Him.
Yeah.
So that is definitely a helpful thing for me. I know I always ask.
Yeah, you know what? Instead of I'm sorry, sis. Instead of Colossians 3 and 5, because we touched on that from the last scripture. Jump to Colossians 3 and 2.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 2. Set your affections on things above.
There you go. You gotta set your affections on things above. You gotta start wanting and loving to do things with wisdom. You gotta start loving the word. You gotta start loving the stories, the knowledge. You gotta start loving the ministry, the service, the office. You gotta take joy in those things as opposed to the carnal things. And remember, nobody's perfect, but I know this, that if you're not growing in that spirit, if you're still doing 50-50, then that's what it's going to be. 50 for the truth, 50 for the world. Your mind is going to be 50-50, right? It said they were addicted to the ministry. It said they were addicted to the ministry. Why are you not addicted to that? But I got my life. You don't got a life. We don't got a life. This ain't a life. This ain't living. You still think you're living because you can just run out and go buy a sandwich or something and go out in the world. Like, this ain't living. Y'all don't know we're in captivity and we're in damn slavery until we're freed through Christ. Hamashiach. You understand that? Stop thinking like the world. You coming into truth and you don't understand. We're still in bondage.
Right.
Read it one more time, Mike, and we're going to finish it up on this. Go ahead.
Set your affections on things above.
Go ahead.
Not on the things of the earth.
Uh-huh.
For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Set your affections in the spirit. Seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High, and all these things shall be added unto you. One last one. Matthew 22, verse 37.
Matthew chapter 22 and verse 37.
Go ahead.
Come. Give me a come when you got it.
Come.
Yahweh said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
What?
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
No. You love him, but you love him on Sundays.
Thou shalt love the Most High.
I ain't even going to say the Sabbath. You love him on Sundays.
With all thy heart.
You went back to Christian mentality. Like, when I get off, I'm going to love him. Because I got to work on Sabbath. You're supposed to be loving the Most High first. Not damn your novellas or your Netflix. No, not your car. Not yourself. Read.
With all thy heart. And with all thy soul.
Go ahead.
And with all thy mind.
Right.
Continue.
Go ahead.
God. This is the first and great commandment.
Right. One more. Matthew 6 and 19.
God.
Matthew 6 and 19. So this is what the Most High is showing us, man. That we got to set our affections on high. We got to put the Most High first. And y'all see it's just not a saying, right?
God.
Put God first. And you don't even know what that means. You wake up for the white man. You love him.
Got your alarm clock set.
Right. Yeah, you don't even know it. God first. Right, what?
You know, it's funny. No, it made me think when we was kids and we used to watch award shows and you watch like Michael Jackson, Busta Rhymes. They all win the award, right? And you don't really put two and two together. But that's like one of the first things they did.
Yeah.
Like, first off, I want to thank God.
Right.
And then the whole crowd would go wild like, ooh!
Right.
But then you're like, wait a minute. He just
Right. That's the question. What God?
Yeah, what God? Like
the God of this world?
Yeah, you just made a song about like
Baphomet?
Yeah, Baphomet.
Beyonce?
Yahtzee, the Church of
Yahtzee. Church of Bay. The Church of
Bay.
Bay. Yeah, that's your God.
Right.
Because you know what? They're not even saying that.
They don't do that no more.
Because I watched the Grammys. I don't think not one person said, I want to thank God first.
Really?
Not even.
I'm not kidding you.
Not even Kendrick Lamar.
He's
for real.
I watched it on purpose because I'm not even. I don't know any music.
Wow. Oh, really? He didn't even say thank the Most High.
Nobody.
Is what?
Nobody. I think Bruno Mars won a lot. He thanked his family, his dad, the labels, fans.
Are they realizing that God ain't what that?
Nobody said God.
Are they realizing that God ain't what it? The Most High ain't what it? Finish this last one real quick. Go ahead.
Come. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19. Give me a come when you got it. Come. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt.
Right. So start putting your treasures next to the Most High. You know, that's where we're fighting for, to sit with him. You know, but we got to put him, we got to set our affections on high and put him first in our life. And it sounds like church, that last part, but that's real. That's real. You got to put the Most High first. But now we really know how. We got to start occupying with things that is going to put him first. You know, the black man, we always got we always want to accomplish something with nothing planned.
Right.
You don't got nothing planned.
That's what it says, conscious control.
Right. You don't got nothing planned out. You got to plan these things out, man, and set it up the correct way, man, to occupy yourself in the spirit. All right, man. Y'all got any questions on that? That was a good class. I know I took that last. That was a good class. But yeah, those last scriptures, man, had to come out also. Y'all got any anything? Any announcements? So it ran good. The computer ran good, sis? Perfect. All right, now we gotta what you call a computer? We can have them edit, and then we don't have to take that from them. It looks like this one might be good for that. All right, so all right, man. Does anybody got any questions online? There's some. Listen, if y'all questions, just hold them. Y'all know how Shabbat morning is. We'll be going over them in Sabbath morning. Fret not. So come join us live tomorrow morning, 10 to 2. Well, 10 to on. It's gonna be raining again, so we can take it as long as possible. So, you know, we're not trying to avoid your questions. Y'all should know that already. All right. So, you know, just hold them, and we'll see you in the morning. All right. Let's salute everybody online.
Shalom.
All right. And